Bren Chong Cup is back with an incomparable prize pool of $40,000 and open to everyone. The competition will be divided into 4 regions: North America, Asia, Latin America and Europe, and also in 4 stages. The second will be the regional group stage. Starting on January 9, the 16 players from each region coming from the qualifiers will advance to the group stage, where they will test their potential against 16 players from the Clash Royale Elite. These 32 players from each region will be divided into 4 groups of 8, and in a round-robin format, they will fight to advance to Phase 3. The regional finals will take place from January 28 to 31 and will feature the 16 best classified from each continent. A single elimination bracket will determine the 3 representatives of each region. We will have a world final of the Bren Chong Cup for the first time. It will be decided who is the best player on the planet. We will have live streamings in many languages: English, Chinese, Japanese, Portuguese, German. In short, that all of you will be able to follow the action. To follow all what happens in the competition, keep an eye on the Revel IMAR social networks and the Appgrade application. Thank Bren Chong for sponsoring this competition and making this event possible. Bren Chong Cup 2. Get ready for the show.
Get ready for the show, indeed. Hey, what's up, everybody? How are you? Back with another day of the Bren Chong Cup 2, our 6th day of action in the European region, Group B, and it's going to be phenomenal. And guys, even better than you might have thought, because today, on stream with us, giving some insight, one of your favorites, one of my favorites, Joshua, Sharon. I'm giving you the full title, man. I'm giving you the full introduction that way. Joining us, man. Glad to have you on here, and really pumped to get you involved in what so far has been some pretty great gameplay.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Thank you for the full title. It makes me feel really special, like I'm welcomed here. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. Yesterday we had a total nail biter. I don't know if you caught up with any of it, but to remind people on the stream, some of you who were here yesterday, some of you who were not, at the end of our Group A action, we had 5 players all tied at 4 and 3. 5 players, and we couldn't even announce the 4 who qualified at the end of the stream because the production had to go and do a bunch of math to figure out exactly who ranked where. And in the end, it was Morton who made it in. Entraflay was the odd man out of that group of 4 from our Group A action. So to give you guys a little bit of insight there, Group A, the qualifiers are Morton, Kuchiku, Lapakati, and Predator. Predator, who had a phenomenal tournament as well. Man, you've been in those situations before, AC, where you come to the end and there's no one really knows exactly what's happening. It's all kind of crazy tight. What's the feeling like when you're sitting there waiting for them to do math to figure out whether or not you go on or not?
Well, okay, I don't know if you remembered this, but I think it was Immortals, Complexity, and Fnatic. We were all going for either like a top 2 spot, or it was, yeah, and then Complexity went from like number 2 to number 6 in a day. Once the math was all solved. It was the most stressful thing ever. I remember we were back in our Uber and no one was talking. We were all just dead silent waiting for the news. It is horrible to have to be in that situation. I saw Entraflay's tweet where he said, "I'm going to have a heart attack." And then 20 minutes later, everything got announced and he didn't make it. And I'm sure he had that heart attack once he saw that. It is difficult to be in that situation.
Yeah, I can totally imagine. And some players who are looking to avoid that situation today: Beniju, Azilys, Schwarzen, Michi Fu, DarkAngel, Chief Keef, Mateja, and Legolas. And we've gotten word before the stream began that Chief Keef is dropping out. I believe, let me go ahead and take a look at the standings for his group beforehand, but I believe that Chief Keef is dropping out because essentially at this point he has no chance of moving on. So those Chief Keef matches, I believe, are all just being looked at as a wash at this point. They're auto wins, which is fortunate for the opponents, maybe unfortunate for guys who are battling for those other spots. But let me confirm that. But I believe that is, let me just go ahead and, yes, Chief Keef retired from the competition, so 3 matches are not going to be playing today. Man, that's a tough one. At what point you know, you've been in some positions where you're playing when it's already said and done. Is it difficult to find the motivation to play? I mean, how do you stay focused in those situations, Josh?
Yeah, it's brutal. I mean, especially if you're in like CRL and you have to practice the week before something like that, like the morale is just low. No one wants to do anything. But the way I look at it, you know, is you just gotta keep pushing, and you know, you gotta try and impress some people. So you just gotta do what you can and try and get that 1 win, try and get that 2 wins, and see what you can do.
And I see some people in the chat jealous about the drip. Guys, I'm wearing sunglasses because they fly. That's it. So get on board with it. This is how we roll. It's all my logo and everything. And you'll just have to, if you don't like it, you can go outside and put on your own sunglasses, right? Here we go. Lineups for today. By the way, one of our sponsors is Upgrade, one of the groups involved here in this tournament. The link is in the chat. If you want to follow along with results, standings, schedules, voting, as you can see, for who you think will win, who you will lose, the link is right there in the chat on Upgrade to either go for both. That's a one link, so that can either go to your Android or to your iOS device. So go ahead, jump on the Upgrade if you want to get follow along with the action as time goes on. Josh, looking at today's group, right? This is a pretty powerful group. Currently, number 1 in the standings in Group B, 3 match wins, no match losses, which also, by the way, puts him, interestingly enough, I think second overall in win rates out of anybody in the tournament is Legolas out of Ukraine.
Really?
Yeah, he's currently his win rate is 86%. And he's the only person ahead of him right now. Can you guess the one person ahead of him in win rate?
Ruben.
Yeah, that's pretty easy at 89%. Yeah, that was pretty much, I lobbed that one up there and you slammed it down. But Legolas, man, the leader right now in Group B, and has gone 6-1 in his matches so far. You know, you've seen bits and pieces of Legolas. Tell me your thoughts on him.
I mean, I knew he was good, but I am pretty shocked to hear that he was 6-1 good.
Yeah.
He's a solid player, and yeah. Has he played against Michi Fu yet?
Let's see. Legolas's 3 matches last week, or in the first part of this group. He went 2-1 win over Beniju, a 2-0 win over Schwarzen, and then a 2-0 over Chief Keef. So has not gotten into the heart of the order yet in terms of Michi Fu and Azilys. So we'll see what happens once he does start going up against those guys in this group. Michi Fu currently 3rd in the group at 2-1, with Azilys right behind him at 2-1 as well. Mateja is currently the 2nd place player right now with 3 match wins and 1 match loss.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, for me, I think you know, we see if he's the real deal, see like how he is as a player once he goes against Michi Fu. It doesn't really matter about like if he wins or loses. Like if the gameplay is solid and if he's competing with him, that's the one I really look at to see just how I'm gonna feel about him as a player.
So this is, you know, interesting. You know, we'll talk a little bit here and there throughout the day about the new CRL format, which obviously is fascinating, totally open, worldwide format. But you know, this Legolas conversation brings up, I think, one of the first questions I want to ask you about it. Is there a specific country that you think is going to get a lot more visibility as far as their Clash Royale level because of this new format, right? Certain countries maybe didn't have as much access to get players in CRL, but have players who are good enough that they might make that top 32 for this new open format.
You know, that's a really good question. I know for a fact Russia/Belarus, they are going to compete and be one of the best, but we kind of figured that when you have Lapo and Igor as like the front runners. Brazil is another country that it's just cleared they are going to compete with Lucas, Samuel. In terms of countries that don't really show off that they have that much firepower, you know, I don't know. I'm gonna say USA, just because I have seen a little bit of talent come out of them, and a lot of the players from the US are not highly rated whatsoever. But other than that, yeah, it's gonna be weird seeing, you know, some players that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, a little. Speaking of the U.S., a little bit of controversy there in terms of the roster decisions for the No Tilt Worlds out of the U.S. some debates back and forth. But the final result from what I've discovered is that that they're going to go with 5 clones of the God RF as the roster for the U.S., and that explains all their decisions.
Yeah, no, that's I think that's what you should be doing if you're a coach for the U.S. That's exactly it.
So we'll be getting with our first match here in just a few moments, folks. The first match on the day. We are in the second half of Group B action. The first match is going to be Azilys and Michi Fu. That's the first one on the schedule, at least. So we will see if that is, in fact, the first one that we go with on the day. But we should be expecting that to come in here relatively shortly. Yeah, a lot of countries we're talking about, whatever country you're talking about in chat right now. Someone mentioned the Czech Republic, someone saying the USA, someone mentioning Nigeria. Because it's a fully open solo event, this gives a chance to really anybody from anywhere. So it doesn't matter where you are. Do you have a phone? Can you get that phone on the internet in some way? Like, do you have Wi-Fi? Do you have a decent 4G signal? Do you have a 3G signal even? Then get your thumbs moving, and you have a chance at a piece of $1.6 million this year. Let's go ahead and jump in to our first one, and it is Michi Fu and Azilys, and I don't think we're doing pre-ban, so let me go ahead and check on that. This is supposed to be ban on first loss. I'll get a confirmation on that one in a moment. And you did ask a very important question earlier on about whether or not Michi Fu had been played yet by Legolas. Is Michi, you think, the strongest player in this group?
I don't know if it's because, I'm just a pretty huge fanboy of him. Like, even the deck he's running right now, I don't know if it was created by Lapo, but it was definitely popularized by him. But I mean, this is like the type of skill deck that players like Michi are just going to be able to use to the full advantage. Great King Tower activation, no damage from that. I mean, I think Michi is easily top 15 player in the world for me.
Yeah, he's certainly talented and has had a lot of sort of weird ups and downs. Sat out the spring split of CRL 2020. But it seems like he got his act together for the fall split after that one. To answer your question there, Blake Costello saying, who is CRS? Never heard of him as a pro player. CRS is an American who played in CRL Asia this year as part of Nova Esports. So he's not just a pro player. He's also a CRL East, not CRL Asia, played with Nova Esports. He's a CRL East champion on top of that.
I would like to comment on CRS. I was the only big name to vouch for him. I used to watch his streams when he would run 2.6, and I was just blown away by the mechanics that he was showcasing. Like, he wasn't even that high. He was running like top 200, top 300, but I saw just how talented he was, and it makes me feel good that the one player I've ever really vouched for ended up being part of the Nova squad that did so well.
Yeah, that's always nice when it pays off, and it's interesting Nova being like, Nova sort of seems like they always do that, right? They take one player from the West or two players from the West to incorporate into that roster, and we've had some legendary names like Sergio Ramos mixed in there, and of course for a while in that first 2018 season, Carnage was the Spaniard was on that team for a minute, and then of course CRS, the American, not to mention another American player who was on that team in 2019 and Unstoppable.
Yep. They do a great job of just making the right moves.
So Lava versus Mortar EQ Cycle. Miner goes right inside on the spear. Skeletons come out to protect, and you have the Firecracker in the back to clean things up. Josh, your thoughts on this matchup as we go forward?
With King Tower activated, it becomes a different game. I mean, he's playing this really, really intelligently. I love the NATO when he NATO'd the, I think it was...
Probably the Brawler?
It was the Fly Machine and the Brawler or something like that. He's making the right plays so far, and he just has to cycle Earthquakes at this point. He played this really, really well.
I mean, from the start, where do you see the matchup on this one?
I think if you cycle correctly, it should be like a slight advantage for the Mortar player. But arrows can just kill everything. So if you're not really, really careful and cycling things exactly how you should be, you can get overwhelmed easily. But with a player like Michi, you gotta feel strong with them running this deck.
On the other side of it, we have Azilys, who I don't know if you saw any of his action in the first day of Group B. But the deck choices from Azilys in this tournament so far have been, that's the first, I feel like the first meta deck we've seen out of him. He's been kind of going wild in this tournament so far.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I saw him post like a picture of him running like Lava Clone or something.
Yeah, let me go ahead and see if I can pull up the decks that he's run so far in this tournament. Let's see. We're going to go back to our first day of action. So he ran some RG, nothing exciting there. Some more RG. Then he ran Golem Night Witch, which isn't super popular right now. Then Hog Rocket with Hog Lumberjack Rocket with Inferno Tower.
Okay.
And then this is where things went crazy. This was game. So this is against Chief Keef, and maybe this was because he wasn't as worried about the matchup. Against Chief Keef, his second game, he's already down a game, right? He loses game number 1, or wins loses game number 1, comes out game number 2, and he plays 3M Pump Royal Hogs in game number 2, with Minion Horde on top of that.
Wow.
And then game number 3 goes Hog Miner Wizard Freeze.
Huh.
Yeah.
Man, that would be brutal to go up 1-0 and then lose in that fashion.
Yeah. And then he swept DarkAngel playing Lava Clone and then playing the I always forget whose deck this is. The Giant Skeleton, Hog Rider, Wizard, NATO Skarmy one.
It's not Denacito.
It's Denacito. It's Denacito. Yeah,
it is.
I always forget whose deck that is. But yeah, the Denacito Pro deck. So it's been fun so far from Azilys.
Yeah, for sure. It makes you want to root for him, and I'm sure he's gained a few fans from that.
So here we go. Michi Fu setting up Giant Skeleton in the back. Azilys going with the triple Roombas, splitting 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Zappies seem to be having a bit of a heyday right now.
Yeah, they're an interesting card. I don't know what happens. Zappies are one of the cards that just like no one uses for 6.5 months, and then everyone uses for 3.5 weeks, and then it just goes back into hiding afterwards.
And kind of a weird up and down when it comes to the Zappies. Of course, right now you're seeing them really in 3 decks. You're seeing them in a RG Giant Skeleton Royal Giant, so they might be even in the deck that Michi is playing here. You see them in Giant and mostly Goblin Giant Double Prince, and then if this is the Graveyard variant, you also see them in that one as well.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a huge fan of this Graveyard variant from Azilys, but I think it should have a decent time in this matchup. Last card's Poison and Graveyard, yeah. It just cycles so weird, no tank or no building, so RG can always technically get a couple shots. But if you're using the Zappies correctly, you can definitely stop it in time if it's more than just 1 or 2 shots.
Well, what's interesting about this deck, and you see here we go, Royal Giant at the left-hand side, Skeletons and Prince, we're going to stop it. That's going to be, as you talked about, a lot of Royal Giant damage on that left-hand side. I wonder how much the increase in use of lightning with things like the Electro Giant, you're seeing more lightning than we've seen in a long time, and less Fireball than we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, no, that's got to be it, really. Zappies, whenever you can keep it on the field, it a phenomenal card. But yeah, with Fireball meta, it always just suffers so much. But then if you're not using Fireball, we can see a lot of value coming out of them.
Yeah, EQ is insanely popular right now. Half your Royal Giant decks, as you see here, are running Earthquake at the moment. So with EQ being popular, Lightning gaining popularity once again. But the big question now is, what can Azilys do right here? A lot of DPS on that Royal Giant. It doesn't get a shot. This is a big, important moment here for the Frenchman. One Prince is going to fall. The classic Prince, though, is going to stay up here for a moment. Snowball not going to do enough to make room as we go into sudden death overtime. It is Michifu pretty firmly in control.
Yeah, I like what Azilys is trying to do. He's trying to, go opposite lane, do all sorts of things. But when you have a Giant Skeleton that can just block everything at the bridge, and then a simple Bar Barrel Electro Spirit is going to make you get 1 or 2 shots possibly from the Skellies, he's just in a really, really rough spot.
Final 90 seconds and setting up both Princes in the left-hand lane. Poison now finally does come out to get the Zappies out of contention, but Giant Skeleton will stop most of this push before it even gets going. Bar Barrel to help out with that one. Prince might get a connection here. Michi might have to spend. Nope, does go with the Electro Spirit high. Final 70 seconds approaching. Triple Elixir on its way. And Michifu, very close to finishing this left-hand tower, but not comfortable enough yet to do any sort of spell cycle.
Yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see if he's just how he's gonna try and finish this game off. I wouldn't be surprised.
Did your feed just freeze, or is it only me?
Yeah, my
okay.
feed froze.
Okay, there we go. Let me just go ahead and everyone's telling production right now the feed is frozen. So we'll find out what's happening with Michi and Azilys at some point.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna cast what I think is gonna be.
yeah, go for it.
Okay, so Michi, 40 seconds left. He goes RG at the bridge, and he gets the connections. He wins the game.
Cool.
Good stuff, Michi.
Yeah, great work, Michi Fu, as we assume. Shocking turn of events now. Azilys has actually connected a face cam and has thrown his phone into the face cam. So not the expression of emotion I would have thought from Azilys here, but it's good to see the veteran here with lots of passion at the moment.
Yeah, you love to see that.
Who do you think is the most passionate player?
Soaking.
Yeah, I was about to say I think so too.
Yeah, I love, like, I'm one of the biggest fans of Soaking ever. I love just how excited he gets, and it makes when I don't want to practice, I think like what would Soaking do, and then boom, I'm practicing 2, 3, 4 hours longer than I was planning on it.
Yeah, he's a guy who he continues to compete. He continues to really care about the game. What do you think is the thing that's kind of been keeping him from being at his best? Because it doesn't seem like it's dedication. It doesn't seem like he stopped caring, right? So I mean, do you have if you're a coach, or if you're diagnosing this situation, what do you think is the secret to getting Soaking back to form?
I don't know if it's like a mental thing. Maybe lacks confidence, and you can see that in some of his plays. Maybe he's not like thinking as much as he used to. It could be like slight improvements to mechanics, and that can flip certain matchups that he was losing. I think it has to be one of those two.
Sure. It turns out Michifu did win, guys. So. I bet you he won exactly how AC called it as well. That's my guess. So there's some internet problems at the production studio. Looks like we are getting the feedback up here in just a moment. So we should be up and running here very, very soon. So thanks for your patience, guys. In the meantime, I'm going to turn to the chat, and AC can see the chat as well. Go ahead and ask questions, and we'll do our best to answer them. Of course, if you get toxic, we have ban hammers flying left and right. So go ahead and see what you got here as we wait for our next game of Azilys and Michifu to come on in. Ankit saying, like my shades. Tech Shift saying, yay, wearing your glasses. That's right, guys. Lots more of the fresh shade drip coming your way very, very soon. I got a whole new selection of even more fire being delivered to Castle of Slaton very soon.
Okay, when are you coming out with some merch sunglasses so that we can try and look like you?
Ooh, that's a good point. You know what? I wonder if I could do a partnership. You know what? You just inspired me. I wonder if I can figure out a partnership that would make that happen. Gooder, if you're watching, did you hear that? The special edition Slatons. We might have to make that one happen. That would be absolute fire. Here we go. I guess we're looking at standings. Never mind. They're still trying to get all the production stuff sorted out. Dara O'Donnell. Can I have a shout out? Dara O'Donnell. No, you cannot. Actually, no, I think O'Donnell is Irish. So Dara O'Donnell, no, you cannot have a shit. And Irish is, I always struggle with Irish. It always goes back. We did Irish yesterday just a little bit. All right, Dara O'Donnell.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do a little. Man, Irish. I don't practice Irish very often. Let's take a look at the standings here for a second as I think about how to do Irish again, because I can always do Scottish. Always comes easily. Irish is always a bit of a challenge there for me to do. Legolas.
The bagpipes right now.
That's Scotland, though, man. See,
yeah.
you're getting it all mixed up. Legolas currently top of the group, as you can see, second overall in all of Europe with that 86% win rate. Michi right behind him, and of course Michi and Azilys battling it out right now for control of second place. Schwarzen in fourth, and then Mateja, DarkAngel, Benny, and Chief Keef. And Chief Keef, you can see, is already a 1-6. He's already all the way out because he has withdrawn from the event. So okay. Oh well. Rough for him.
Brutal for the player that lost to Chief Keef.
Yeah. Who lost to Chief Keef? Actually, you know what? I don't even know that. Who do we get to razz for losing to Chief Keef? Just a little bit. Let's see. Let me go ahead and take a look at this one. Results for Chief Keef. Azilys beat him. Legolas won that matchup. Schwarzen won against Chief Keef. I actually not even seen where his win was here. So, maybe I don't have the proper record keeping here. And I guess we're coming back out here for a minute, guys, and you guys get that sweet, sweet music. And again, thanks for sticking around as we're waiting for the production issues to get sorted out. It's been a little challenge. Is Morton still in this? Yes, he is. Okay, so here's the question that's been the back and forth debate, AC, and a lot of people in the chat are going to get angry no matter what your answer is, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Who is the best in the world right now?
Ruben. Yeah. There's no one. I don't think there's anyone that really gets close to him. I think Morton is obviously incredibly skilled, but I wouldn't even say he's really that close to him at all. RF was somewhat close to him for a while, but then Ruben started playing even better than the Ruben he usually was. I mean, in terms of raw talent, I think we can look at like Igor or Lapo being up there, but he's so disciplined and he just plays so many decks. Yeah, I think that's honestly a pretty easy answer for me.
It's about to happen because we're about to get the full-on fly of Moogie stands coming into the chat here in a minute, I believe. But where do you put Moogie in that conversation?
You know, I don't watch enough of his gameplay. Kind of salty because he never accepts my friend link propositions. But I'd say he's definitely top 5, top 3. But I wouldn't say. I think I would still put like Morton in front of him.
Guys, the best part about that is why I'm laughing is the number of times that AC has added and then deleted me from his friends list over the years. It's almost like I almost get disappointed if he doesn't kick me off the friends list. So it's funny to see it goes all the way around. So here we go. Michi Fu did, I believe, win the previous match overall. And now we are going into Legolas and DarkAngel, and we'll see if Legolas can continue being as dominant as he's been so far.
Absolutely. These minor wallbreaker decks are just so unbelievably powerful. It is impossible to lose with them, it feels like.
I mean, for some people, I am plenty good at losing with these decks, but do as you will. Although I am currently playing a minor wallbreakers variant. I'm playing this same one, but with Log and Fireball. Yeah, Log Fireball is the one I'm playing. Okay,
yeah. Yeah, it's such a solid deck. If you're playing it really well, I mean, you just you can pull off just crazy runs with it. Just if you're in the right mindset and just playing really solid.
Yeah. No, when I'm good, I'm good, and when I'm bad, I'm bad. Yeah, I play Log Fireball Bats as opposed to the Hunter version for this deck.
Okay, yeah. I hate the Hunter version. I was playing it on stream, and I was going against Muhammad Light, and I tried predicting a bomb tower, but he was running Bats Hunter instead of Hunter Bomb Tower, and he 3-crowned me in like 48 seconds when I tried predicting it, and he just defended with a Hunter.
Yeah, that'll happen. That'll do it.
Yep, that'll happen. That'll do it.
So DarkAngel trying to fight his way back up into contention here. Currently not in the top 5, or not in the top 4. Top 4, of course, do move on to the regional final, which will take place in about 2 weeks or about 10 days or so after we are done with the NA and LATAM regions. Does Crap have a pair of gooders? I don't believe he does yet, but we might have to make that happen.
I actually do.
What? You do?
I got sent them, and I wore them on my way to the gym, and I feel really good.
Oh, so you got the sunglasses and not the blue blockers?
Yes, yeah.
Fresh. What do you what kind? Which ones did you get?
Let me see if I can find them.
That's actually cool. I didn't realize that you had a pair. That's pretty fire.
Yeah, I think I got the white ones.
Ooh. Yeah, the side scroll eye roll.
Yes, that sounds like it's it.
The ones I'm rocking on stream right now. Yeah, they're pretty fresh, I have to admit. Minor wall breakers working out okay so far for Legolas.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to, because the wall breakers don't really get that much value, just because he can always defend with mortar. Ooh, that musk shot is really, really valuable. I think it is probably a slight advantage to DarkAngel just because he has the log as well, and the wall breakers are just never going to be connecting to the tower.
And they do, just to get a little bit of work there with the on the right hand side.
And immediately after I say that, they connect to the tower and win the game. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's welcome to casting there, bud. GG, well played. Legolas continues to be insanely dominant so far.
Yeah, that offensive earthquake, I'm not a huge fan of it. That was just way too much elixir to be spending, and he always needs to be, because he used the log and he used too much elixir where he can't mortar defensively, and you should just never be doing that in that situation. Because
go ahead.
It's a free win for Legolas in that situation.
Omotayo asking, can you ask if Minor Wallbreaker is a skillful or skillless deck?
Okay. That I was kind of hoping you wouldn't read that question.
Well, let me phrase it this way, right? I'll go first on my opinion on Minor Wallbreakers. I think that the floor of skill you need to be successful with it is very high, right? I think that it's one of those decks where you have to have a certain skill level to be good with it, but that once you have a certain level of skill, it becomes like the curve relative to how easy it is compared to how good you are is different, right? So it's a very easy deck for high-skilled players to win with and a very hard deck for mid-skill players to win with. Do you think that's fair?
I love the way that's worded, because when I look at it, it's like, I mean, that's a good play, but it seems so simple for a player of that standard. If I'm watching like Morton or something like that, like you'll see those kind of players not even react if they're streaming, because that's just what you do. That's not like that impressive to someone who's really, really talented at the game. So it is a skillful deck, but it's kind of easy
once
for
you're
actually
good.
Really skilled players. Yes.
Yeah. I think that's a really good way to put it. I wonder like how you design that curve. Legolas, of course, switching now from the Minor Wallbreakers over to Lava Minor, and Dark going with, it looks like just a straight up classic version of Log Bait here.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the like how he came to that conclusion that was what he needed to use. But going against lava with only arrows, he can start cycling princesses and get a lot of value with that. This is going to be, I mean, I think it's fully dependent on whether or not he can defend properly. And if he does, this should be a good matchup for Dark.
And you see right there, getting the arrows to play on defense, and now that princess can do whatever she darn well pleases in that right-hand lane. Minor goes right to the front, and a nice catch by the knight, but the flying machine comes out to get the princess off the board.
Yeah, a lot of pressure right here. This is exactly how you should play this matchup. Really, really well done from Dark so far.
Final minute now. Here we go. 59 seconds left as we get into double elixir time. 8:10 remaining on that right-hand tower as the bars prepare to go into that right-hand lane. So right now, Legolas does have the elixir advantage, but the difficulty of dealing with that princess, every time you think about getting to her, unless it's the Minor getting her off the board, you're opening yourself up to a ton of damage.
Yep. And then just great early Inferno Tower. I'm just so impressed about how Dark is running this. I watched Lapo play a deck similar to this. It was when he used to run the Skeleton Barrel, Goblin Barrel deck, and the amount of times he just switches lanes, gets spells out, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it is beautiful to watch pro players run these kind of decks.
Here we go, right-hand lane out on a 671, Minor to the back, and the princess does stick around. Complete opposite lane from way downtown, NBA Jam style, taking off the support on the right-hand side, and that gets almost nothing. And then the princess connects on the right-hand side. That's two connections, and we're assuming there's a rocket there for Dark, or are we not making it up? There we go.
Yep, there we go.
And nice GG. DarkAngel sends us to game number 3 and stops Legolas from completely running downhill on him.
Yeah, you love to see it. Love to see it get competitive right there. I just want to know like what the thought process was to switch to log bait right there, because it was clearly a phenomenal decision.
Yeah, I mean that's always one of those questions, right? I'm trying to think of how much. Let's go ahead and take a look at Legolas's deck pool here, and that might give us a little bit of an insight. Maybe he's been running Lava Hound a lot in this tournament. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring
especially
up,
like a second game kind of thing.
Yeah, let's see. Legolas so far in this event. Legolas, Royal Hogs, Minor Wall Breakers, Mortar Miner, Hoggy Q, 6 Loon, but that's the first time we've seen Lava Hound from him. So what an unbelievable choice in this moment.
Yeah, because I feel like most of those are gonna have pretty good matchups against log bait, just from what I can hear. So.
No idea.
Props to Dark. He completely predicted right there.
Yeah, nice work there from DarkAngel. Maybe that was just a luck of the draw that Dark really likes playing that deck. So I don't know what the call was there. That gets interesting, right? And so we'll talk about this a little bit off and on throughout the day. And let me take a look at the chat here for a second. Eris, I'm doing very well. Thanks for joining. Yesterday I was confused about Morton is playing Tezamotayo. Yep, we're very happy to see that one. What team do you think is best for no-till? I haven't looked at all the rosters yet for no-till, Gabriel, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Yeah, and that's how you play log bait. It was definitely beautifully played. As far as deck pool research, right? I mean, obviously the dual mode, which we're going to be playing with in CRL this year, dual mode does give you more information as the duel goes on, right? When you get into game 2, game 3, you essentially know that there's 8 cards, then 16 cards your opponent's not playing.
Yep.
How much do you think dual mode, though, gives you more information in terms of preparation for those matchups, right? In terms of researching your opponent before you actually get into the best of 3?
I don't know. I just love dual mode because like buildings and the way that's gonna be set up, and just spells in general, it's gonna be so much more valuable than it has been before, because like spells are considered one of the greater, like you need at least one spell in every single deck. So like Earthquake is going to be the one spell that like you have to carefully use, because you're going to be trying to spam that as often as possible. Otherwise they're going to have huts, all those kind of things. It's just going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with duels, and how players are going to be crafting their decks.
Yeah, one thing we saw in the All-Stars event was that there were some players who switched it up a little bit, and some players who just ran the same 3 decks, essentially, the entire way through the tournament. St. Bellican comes to mind, who I really thought he'd be doing a lot more deck variants, other than one really smart play against Hajime, I believe it was, to switch out the Goblin Giant for a Graveyard variant. He ran essentially the same three decks through most of the tournament. So very curious to see if that same sort of approach, and it took him pretty far in it as well. So I'm curious if that approach continues, or if players start crafting multiple different different deck groupings for those duels, and they go more specifically based on their matchups.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see. And you're totally right. Like Belly's the one player where I can trust that he's going to make adjustments throughout tourneys and all that kind of stuff. So it's funny that he did that.
Well, that's also the interesting question. Here we go. Death Bomb will get on tower. Legolas way in control as we go into the final minute. It should be fairly easy defense for Legolas here in this final 55 seconds.
Yeah, he played the bomb tower out of the range of the loon to go to it, but it shouldn't have been a problem because he can just snowball it into the range, and then he just missed the snowball, and then game was immediately over like 20 seconds into the game, and then Legolas is going to come in with another victory.
Yeah, these are pretty standard. It's interesting, this giant skeleton balloon deck has kind of roared into popularity, and that's going to be another balloon connection on the left-hand side that should be nice and easy tower down, or at least they'll get one more shot on it. Do you know who created this giant skeleton balloon miner variant? Because this wasn't really getting played much at all, and then in the last 6 weeks or so, it's become very popular.
I do not. Yeah, I have no idea who created this. I know this was kind of a popular deck like a year ago or something like that. It was used in CRL a few times, at least something like fairly similar. And then people, I guess, realized that it was pretty good in this meta as well, and then started running it here in these competitions.
And take a look at the style of Legolas, right? White shades for Legolas with the win, white shades for me. Is there a connection going on here? Is there maybe there's a reason why he's now 4-0? Most likely that puts Legolas through to the regional finals here for the European region. So well played for the young Ukrainian. You know, Josh, you've had a chance. I mean, you've been in the game since 2016, and there's very few people who've played competitive Clash Royale since 2016. Most OGs don't have anything on their record from before 2017. You've played with all different types of players, all different types of orgs. Talking about a guy like Legolas, he's part of this little group of guys that it's Igor, Lapo, Legolas, Dreaming Fly. What's the benefit of having, like, how much does that help having a crew like that who plays together, trains together, talks together? How much does that raise your level? Because we're obviously seeing something that with Legolas here, and that feels like that has to be a big part of it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, having that core group, I remember, well, I mean, I can think back even before I started competing, the reason I became good at the game was actually because of the God RF, and he like helped me out with the deck and we practiced it, and then I started doing really well in 15Ks. Like having that core group of players that you can practice with whenever you want and just talk about certain things, like that is gonna just like shoot you straight up in terms of skill level and like the ceiling that you can be reaching. It is so important to have that group.
Well, you mentioned RF there, and I didn't realize how far back your guys' friendship and sort of Clash Royale partnership went. Did you first meet him in a clan in CR, or how did you guys...
Okay, so we knew each other from the clan Silent. I was probably like 15, he was probably like 13 or 14, and we would go on Skype calls. It was like me, him, and Bag, Hazard, a bunch of like CR pros in today were clan mates in that one clan system, and we would be on call when Bag was like 11 at the time or 12 at the time. It is crazy how long I've known some of these players.
Yeah, that's nuts. And you know, that kind of leads me to, I guess, that sets up an interesting question. How does that end up with you and RF ending up on Immortals together?
I believed he was incredibly skillful, and so it was easy for me to, because like when he used to push an account or two, he would always finish top 10, top 5, so I knew how skilled he was. But he actually wasn't doing like great in tryouts, but I remember talking to Louise, and I was like, no, trust me, he's very skilled, just got to give him some time, he'll be ready for it. And then he started like playing a little bit better. I mean, if we didn't have that friendship earlier on, I might never have had him on our team.
And obviously one of the most iconic duos and pairs of teammates in all of Clash Royale. So glad you guys had that relationship. Gave us a lot of really excellent moments. And you can see Mateja trying to take advantage of the early play with the Fisherman cycled in the back. This Giant Skeleton, though, I don't know if it's going to get there, but it's going to be a lot of damage from the Royal Giant on the right-hand side. And the Giant Skeleton walks back the opposite direction. Oh, and then walks back to the Princess Tower. Oh, my word. How many things can go wrong in one 20-second sequence?
Yeah, this is a brutal just start for Azilys. This is not what you're looking for if you're a fan of him.
Oh boy, just that early Fisherman behind King Tower. The number of times we've seen it completely ruin a pro's day. And there we see it right now. Working out very well for his opponent, not so well, though, for the Frenchman.
Yeah, I mean, if you're... I feel like he kind of deserves the Crown Tower loss, just because if you don't have Giant Skeleton in cycle, you can't be doing that. It's a simple mistake that you should never be making. And it's unfortunate to see, but I can't believe he was willing to cycle that, knowing the matchup, understanding what was happening, and just willing to let that happen.
So 99% chance here that the Serbian is going to go ahead and take the win here. Mateja, of course, has been involved in a lot of competition himself. Part of the no-tilt league spring season back in our previous year of 2020, and he's been also in draft duels as well with LA Gaming. We'll see if he's able to get win number 2 here, but win number 1, I mean, look, it feels like it's sewn up, but who knows here? Again, there's the Royal Giant in the pocket.
Yeah. That's...
High Fisherman to pull, and you see the, oh, what a nice, do you see that Hunter out of Mateja just to make sure the Fisherman didn't pull the RG away?
Yeah, it's just solid mechanics right there.
Yeah, that was pretty fun to watch there. Mateja, a 7.7K player, so has never cracked that big number 8, but certainly does have some skills, and we saw them there, although some of that might have been the more on the Azilys side than the other side. So here's a fun question for you. Let's not even talk about anything below 7K right now. How big is the difference between 7.7 and 8? How, like, when you look at a player's personal best as 8K versus that 7.7, that range, that one little chunk lower, what does that tell you about a player?
Okay, well, it's kind of interesting because I was able to hit 8K, but that was like maybe 6 months, 9 months, a year ago or something. So if they are a recent pusher, it's not too big of a difference. Because it's significant. It got a decent amount more difficult to push. But yeah, that last 300, 400 trophy difference is pretty huge. If you're gonna compare it, because like the difference between someone like, I'm trying to think of like an 8100 player. But yeah, it can be pretty huge. When you compare the two, the level of skill is it goes from like golem first play kind of players to just really intelligent, well thought out players at 8100-ish.
Yeah, that's a very, 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 very tight difference, right? You talk about just how a few hundred trophies at one part in the ladder, a few hundred trophies is really nothing. Other part of the ladder, a few hundred trophies is pretty much everything in terms of how you evaluate a player.
Yep.
And yeah, someone mentioned that someone else is streaming the Bren Chong Cup on YouTube. Yes, that is the French stream. We are streaming in multiple languages. So the other stream that you're seeing on YouTube, guys, is the French stream. If you want to go watch it in French, whether you speak French or you want to brush up on your French, or whether you just prefer the sound of their voice.
Yeah, you like how it sounds.
Yeah. If you just want to hear that, go ahead. People are asking in the chat quite insistently, Josh, what is your favorite color, and what is your favorite color Power Ranger?
Favorite color is gonna be purple.
Same as mine. Is that a Kings thing, you think?
Yeah, I think that would make sense.
Yeah, strong move.
That adds up. In terms of Power Rangers, I think the red guy would be my favorite. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen the Power Rangers, but I feel like he's probably the leader or something.
Yeah, I said green, and yes, for those of you asking in the chat, Morton did advance yesterday. So Morton is going through. Entraflay was the player who did not make it to the next round.
Just brutal.
Yeah, so Azilys is going with a Minor Wallbreakers Bandit variant and getting brutalized again early in this matchup.
Yeah, taking a ton of damage on the left and a decent amount of damage on the right as well.
I'm trying to think if I've seen this. I think I've very rarely seen this this Bandit variant.
Yeah, this used to be a fairly popular a long time ago, and then Mini P.E.K.K.A started getting used, and then once Mini P.E.K.K.A was introduced, there was better versions of the MK. I'm assuming it's MK from Azilys. And then I haven't seen Bandit be used whatsoever since that introduction.
And great prediction on the Musketeer there on the mortar out of Azilys. Now gets the Musketeer right behind the Mega Knight, and you see the Miner go right to that cannon cart, stick it directly next to the tower. Do we get the leap on? And it does not quite connect. 40 seconds left, and currently leading by about 200 HP is the Serbian.
Yeah, and then he's running a deck where he can just switch lanes as often as he wants. This is going to be interesting. I mean, the Goblins are going to clean up really, really nicely for the graveyards. And so if he keeps MK ready for the offensive pushes, he could easily make a comeback here. It's going to be a tight finish, I'm assuming.
Bandit gets to the back of that Hunter. Miner gets one shot, 836 to 725. Musketeer on the left-hand side, not as big of a concern. This cannon cart, though, is certainly a concern for Azilys. Has to deal with both the cannon cart and the mortar. Goes ahead and does that with the Mega Knight in the middle. Knight across to do some tanking here for the Graveyard. Goblins come into that Graveyard spawn, but a lot of damage coming in anyway. But look at the Mega Knight connection on the right. Azilys takes the win.
You hate to see that. Just the misplay of the Spirit Goblins in the middle and just doesn't even kite it whatsoever. That I struggle with that so much. You try and play perfectly, even when it's not necessarily something you need to be doing. You're just so used to be trying to place everything in the exact right tile placement. And sometimes it's just better to play safe, play cautious, so that way you don't just let an MK jump onto the tower to steal the win.
So here's a question for you. What do you think is the most misplayed card against? Right? What is the card people misplay their defenses against the most? Right? So I end up with a lot of misplays against Mega Knight, whether it's like I'm trying to go for a King Tower activation and go get my time, like I do something stupid, or I do something too late, or things like that. That is certainly one of the ones for me. Do you have one that you think is one of the more cards that people misplay against the most?
I think I would say I would lean towards MK as well. Other cards that people misplay against, E-Giant is one, just because like everybody tries to play it outside of the range, and so you think you can spam troops there, and then they just NATO it in, and you kind of lose all the troops that you had taking it out. And then I feel like you have to just look at wall breakers as well. There's so many variants where every once in a while they'll have zaps, so you think you can bats on top of it and then log, and they are just quick with the zap. So those are my three that everybody seems to be misplaying with.
Salty saying it's the flying machine. That's certainly one up there.
Yeah, the amount of times I've like skellied way too early and then it just takes it out, and then I'll bandit and then it just takes out the bandit. Like that's definitely one.
It's I feel like all the quicker flying troops, especially flying machine and balloon in particular, because of the way you have to use the shadow as opposed to the actual troop itself to figure things out. I think that does make for some annoying misplays and misplacements that I get into.
Yep. It looks like a glitch sometimes, and when it goes lava loon and then you try and hunter on top of the loon and then it still targets the lava. Like, that is the most frustrating mistake you can possibly make inside the game.
Death Adder saying, loving the quality analysis from UNAC. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it. Definitely happy to have you guys. Dark Goblin is one also that, because of its speed, yeah, that's a deceptive speed from the Dark Goblin. Oh, and Azilys, I thought for a second Azilys was DC'ing, but no, there he goes. And gets the King Tower activation against the Royal Ghost.
Yeah, so Mateja, I don't like the deck for Mateja right here. I'm guessing it's going to be E-Barb's like cannon card or something. Oh, okay. This is going to be interesting to see the last cards from him. There's just like slight variations. And then Azilys is probably just running the E-Giant, I would assume. I don't know what it's going to be.
It does feel like it.
We're going to have to see.
Yeah, is this that lumberjack bridge spam deck from Mateja?
Yeah, we're gonna see the last cards. My guess is gonna be E-Barbs and then Ram Rider? Battle Ram? I'm not exactly sure.
Well, we'll find out here probably pretty soon. First 90 seconds away, and so far no significant damage either direction, but the first blood has been drawn by Mateja on the left-hand side, 23-18 remaining. People have been asking in the chat a few times, are you planning on trying to push top 1,000 ladder and, maybe doing CRL or not in 2021?
We're gonna have to see. Right now my account is like so terrible that it makes me sad just thinking about it. So yeah, I'm gonna do my best, and then possibly in like 2 weeks, I'm gonna make that one last push and just see where I can get my account. I might do it in like 6 months or 3 months or something like that.
Fair enough. Oh, look at the pressure on the right-hand side, and it is E-Barbs. So just loading up on the right-hand side right now is Mateja, as soon as he sees the Electro Giant get spent in the opposite direction. Snowball in on the Brawler. Those Elite Barbarians will probably get this tower down. No, the NATO does save them in the end. And so now we go. A pretty healthy Electro Giant on the tower. Dark Prince, will it escape from the cannon cart? And it does not. So it is Mateja who comes out on top of that exchange.
Yeah, that was fairly well defended. I love the pressure. Really, really solid stuff from him. But with only Snowball, I don't know if he's going to be able to just overwhelm and be able to win that way, or if he's going to have to try and get a Magic Archer snipe. This is going to be interesting to see how he wants to attack this.
Cannon cart connects and gets one shot. Bandit goes to the tower, so Azilys, with just a couple of little mistakes there at the end, maybe a bit aggressive, and it is Mateja taking the match victory off of Azilys.
Yeah, I really liked how he pressured everything. That's a difficult matchup for Mateja to win. He has so many, Azilys has so many responses on defense, with Bar Barrel, Dark Prince, Ice Wiz, Gob Cage. That's a very strong win and strong showcasing from Mateja.
Yeah, let's go ahead and maybe we'll get the results, the overall results up here in a few minutes. I'll keep an eye on if they do pop into the clean feed, but so far today, Azilys having some difficulties in this event.
Yeah, he's already 0-2, and is he 2-3 overall now?
Yeah, that would put him at 2-3 overall in match play. So he's at the point now where Azilys might have to win both of his matches in order to stay in the competition.
Yeah, winner go home situation. This is where men are made.
That's a good way to put it. Where men are made. Let's see. Yeah, don't spam about what card you want gone, guys in the chat, because guess what? We literally have no control over that. And also, they shouldn't remove Mega Knight from the game. There's no reason to. So, yeah, I'm sorry that Mega Knight ruins your days. Maybe try playing it, and maybe that'll help you. Who knows? Who knows what happens? But
I do that every once in a while. I struggle with a deck. I get into a GC, one win in, and then I find the hard counter to it, and I don't have to worry about finding that matchup. It's a pretty good way to do things.
Don't mind it. Here we go. Schwarzen in his first match of the day against Dark, who's dropped the Angel. He's just Dark. Oh, you know what it is? I think he's still DarkAngel. It's that this account is just called Dark, and they are making all of the names match. So Lopakati was Lopkins yesterday.
I love the Lopkins name. It always makes me chuckle.
So Lumberloon Cycle from Schwarzen, kind of a bit of a throwback here. We'll see which spirit he's running. Most likely Ice in this variant, but we'll see if it is one of the other two, and it's going to be DarkAngel running 2.6. What in the world?
Okay, he is going to go with Electro Spirit. Interesting. This is going to be a really fun matchup. I think if Dark is playing this well, he should be able to win, as long as he doesn't lose by double elixir, because in double elixir, he can just cycle fireballs on defense. He can cycle, also really, really poor Ice Spear right there. Needs to place it one tile to the right. Needs to be opposite lane of the Hunter. But yeah, if he's playing this really well in double, he can either activate King Tower, he can fireball. He can do so many different things for that. So I want to see Schwarzen like really, really try and dial in and try and take a tower early on.
Well, good dual lane damage so far here for the young German, and it is, though, DarkAngel with the lead on the left-hand side, 12-14, and Schwarzen's going to go ahead and just eat 3 Musketeer shots on the right-hand side as we go into double.
Yep, that's what he should be doing right there. And then as soon as Dark plays any troop in the back, he can pretty much just spam opposite lane. It's going to be, yeah, there you go. I love what he's doing right there.
Musketeer working on this raged up balloon. Does the balloon get a connection? No. The Ice Spirit does stop it. Death damage in 950 to 1302 with 35 seconds left in regulation.
Yeah, at this point, Dark just needs to be cycling Musketeers as often as possible, getting value logs on tower whenever he can, and then eventually he can just go in with like an Ice Golem Hog and be able to take it out.
Balloon, I believe, will connect here, and it does. That is a huge, huge connection on this. Go ahead.
Yeah, just not the strongest defense right there. He uses the Ice Spirit, and then the bats are just going to take it out, as well as the Loon. Not impressed right there, but once it gets to this like final seconds kind of thing, this is where Hog decks shine. One shot, and then the Fireball, and now possibly he can just cycle log Fireballs to win it. This is gonna be a race.
And Ice Golem does come back for the Lumberjack here. Hog doesn't get a shot. Miscalculation there by Dark. And Schwarzen does take game number 1. 2.6. One of the most popular decks of all time. But at this point, it seems... At this point, and tell me if I'm wrong here, AC, but at this point, it feels like 2.6 is a deck that is either for you're a 2.6 master and you're just going to push it up on ladder to keep showing you're a master with it, or it's I'm doing a grand challenge for a video deck. It doesn't seem like it's a truly like generally viable deck anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like 2 days ago where Morton's entire stream was just him trying to get a 12 win with 2.6. It's not the strongest thing ever. Even when you get like, in theory, good matchups. Like I think right there, in theory, that was a decent matchup. But like, everybody's so used to playing it 1,000 times that they have so much experience, and it's so easy for them to immediately recognize, okay, I've played this before. This is how I need to defend. This is how I need to attack everything. And so if you yourself aren't playing 2.6 a ton, you can lose those good matchups just because you don't have enough experience in trying to outplay that.
Sure. So how are there certain players? So, it's almost like they say the exception that proves the rule. Why are certain players still so good, especially on ladder, with playing 2.6?
I mean, ladder and comp, there's going to be different metas. So I think in ladder, it's probably going to be just slightly better for them. And then, I mean, some of them just one-trick it, and, that's kind of... They're able to figure out matchups that no one else should. I know I've seen like videos where people will move the giant graveyard deck. They'll move the giant, if it's placed on the inside tile, all the way to the other lane with a cannon that's placed like directly near the bridge, and then you can have it so that the tower retargets onto the graveyard. Like you can do some cute stuff with it if you know the deck well, but yeah, I just don't like it for comp whatsoever.
And speaking of interesting competitive decks, DarkAngel here.
He's having fun with his competition for sure. Him and Azilys, they love showing off.
And there we go. Mortar does get the high balloon pull. This time no connection. 1464 on the right-hand lane. And Schwarzen, of course, just running it back, going right to the same pool.
I would say that.
Go ahead.
I would say that's the most stressful, like, play you can make, even though you know it's gonna work out. Doing those mortar pulls, I just hate it. That mini heart attack every single time.
Bat cycle to the right-hand side here for Schwarzen. Minute 15 remaining. Lumberjack in front of the Bats, and the Loon comes behind. So Bats will give a little bit of cover here. Maybe get that Knight close to out of the way. No, not quite, and Mortar does connect on the right-hand lane. And with the Ice Spirit's help, that balloon's going absolutely nowhere. Dark trying to fight his way back in.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. I feel like there is the possibility he can just start spamming defensive mortars, and then he should be able to be good and maybe possibly rocket cycle near the end. It'll just be totally dependent on whether or not he can defend, just like this last game.
Mortar played a half step inside this time. Balloon does not connect, but just barely doesn't. And Schwarzen adds to his lead. 30 seconds left. And so far,
wow.
Dark has not found any true way through.
Yeah, I don't know if he needs to be trying to get in a cycle where he can set up the defensive mortar early, where he shouldn't be trying to get like damage with it. Okay, there you go. I like the adjustment that he just made.
And it is just Mortar triple spell. And he cycles the rocket early. I think that was a mistake to cycle the rocket there. I mean, you see the immediate balloon played behind tower.
I think it's all right. I actually don't like the loon behind the tower. He can cycle Skellies and Ice Spirit, and then he's already back to another one, had that been, you know, the method that he wanted to do. Although, we're going to have to see what's happening with this.
Death damage 1, death damage 2, and the bar barrel to clean up all those archers. Now 504 on the right-hand side with about 90 seconds left. And one more rocket cycled here from DarkAngel.
Yep, I like that. I think at this point, he can't rocket until that triple elixir, until at the very end. This is going to be very, very close.
And the NATO pull does not succeed because of the rage. DarkAngel tried to wait long enough to get it done correctly, but he couldn't. And you see the Lava Hound ban there, a pretty smart ban against Schwarzen. But then you go with a very interesting choice of matchup overall after that.
Yeah. Wow. I can't believe the game went like that. Really, really solid pressure from Schwarzen though. Forcing Dark into a lot of difficult defenses, and you know, even though in theory he could have defended it, sometimes in those kind of matchups, if you just wear them down and put them in those situations over and over again, eventually they mess that up, and you know, you can get easy victories just from opponents' mistakes.
And there you go. The pressure did come in pretty heavily. The balloon to the balloon there at the end did look like it worked out fairly nicely for Schwarzen. That's one of those weird ones. Tornado has had such a strange journey, right? What I don't know is, because it's a shorter Tornado now, would the older version of Tornado, since it lasted longer, have pulled that balloon far enough away from the Princess Tower, or would that have made it through anyway because of the rage?
So I actually got in an argument, I think it was like 2 days ago or something, because someone was saying that like someone outplayed me with like a really cool Tornado, and then I looked at the video, and it was 2 years ago. It was Surgical Goblin making like it was like a neat play, but it wasn't really an outplay. Like, it was just, you know, he hard counted. It's whatever, I'll get over it. But I was watching the video, and you could just NATO the Giants to the King Towers with only taking like one shot, possibly zero if you get the log timing right. NATO used to just be broken, and it used to be 2-3 seconds. I forgot what it was. So yes, it would have been able to just get to the King Tower. It was ridiculous how strong NATO used to be.
Well, now certainly not as strong, but the interesting change, of course, now is that you can fully counter Hog, that first Hog hit in a way that you couldn't before.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Game number 1 of Legolas and Michifu, and we'll see if Legolas continues to be insane. This is the big matchup you were looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm excited. I really am. Got me sitting up and just ready for this.
So looking like Michi going either balloon or graveyard here with the bowler. We'll see. And Legolas with... Is this just pure spell cycle from Legolas?
Wow. Yeah. Not a huge fan of that. Because he can just overwhelm. It's going to be interesting to see if he has like Bomb Tower or Rocket or...
Tesla. And there's Tesla. This is usually the piece. I feel like that last piece here.
Wow. That was some solid defense from Legolas.
So, pure control spell cycle out of the Ukrainian. I'm wondering if he's trying to make a statement here against Michifu. Like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, I don't know. Right now, I'm drafting up my tweet saying this should not be allowed in comp, so I'll be right back.
When you say it should not be allowed, what do you? I mean, obviously you're goofing off a little bit here, but like, tell me more about, because this deck shouldn't. You're saying this deck shouldn't be capable of winning, or that this should be a bannable offense.
So, I mean, just the fact that Earthquake does 204, I think it is, like, it is absolutely ridiculous just how much damage it can do. And, I mean, the defense was very clean, but it also looked like it wasn't even that difficult for him on that first push. Just the way this deck is set up, I mean, even going with the offensive Earthquake right there, like, it is absolutely ridiculous how these decks get played. it immediately as the game starts, you just start rooting for Michi Fu, regardless of like which player you're actually a fan of.
And that freeze should be good enough for Michi to go ahead and get this one done. 20 seconds left, 14:47 on the right-hand side. You can't spell cycle that much in 15 seconds.
No, but I'm still not gonna start cheering until we see that final tick go down.
And there you go, Legolas waving the white flag here. Interesting choice on matchup here from Legolas against Michifu, and he takes the pretty big L there that I guess you're pretty happy about.
Yeah, I'm glad there's no face cam because I'm pretty giddy right now.
So let's see. Someone's asking about MK players. What do I think of Mega Knight? It's a 7 elixir card that has big, beefy things on its hands and does splash damage. That's what I think of Mega Knight. I don't know. I just mess up against it a lot, so it kind of annoys me sometimes. But it's a card that I don't know. I've never put Mega Knight as one of those cards that I feel like ruins the game. Right? I think that I do hear a lot of lower trophy players complain about Mega Knight, but I've never felt like it's one of those ones that's just too much.
Yeah, same here. I feel like half of the time I lose to it, it's only because I'm trying to, make a really, really amazing play and get like a crazy Keen Tower activation. I think it's strong for sure, but nothing broken. A lot of the time, it's like the support cards that they use, and the MK is just kind of there. It's definitely nothing crazy, but it is a very solid card for sure.
So taking a look at the standings right now, Legolas currently still at 4-0 in match play. We'll see if Michi Fu can finish him off here in game number 2. Michi at 4-1 right now. Mateja, so it looks like Legolas, Michi Fu, and Mateja all in pretty good shape. Dark and Chief Keef both eliminated from contention. So really the question now is, can Azilys and Beniju put some pressure on the bottom of that table and get themselves up into that four-win spot? We'll be finding that out later, but for now, it's the battle at the top between Legolas and Michi.
So if you're Azilys and Beniju right now, you're hoping that Legolas is winning and just kind of pushes him down, because Legolas is almost confirmed at this point.
Yeah, 4-0. I mean, one of these guys is going to have 5 wins no matter what after this one. You almost kind of think that, yeah, giving Michi Fu that second loss is more beneficial than giving Legolas the first. Hold on, I'm going to take Mrs. Slaton just dropped off my lunch. I'm going to take a quick bite here. You're up.
What did you get?
A turkey wrap and some apple slices.
All right, I love the apple slices idea.
Yeah, we're on the healthy kick.
Yeah, I like that. Michi Fu running a giant skeleton RG. Nothing special from him. Legolas running probably like Fireball, Electro Spirit as some of the last cards. It's an interesting deck. I'm intrigued to see why he chose this and just how popular this is. Just overall in these kind of competitions. Pretty solid defense coming out of Michi Fu, but that's going to be a lot of damage coming in. And yeah, the way Legolas is cycling and playing this so far, pretty impressive stuff. So let's see if he can keep that up.
Good work there, man. I'll keep it up because my mouth is full of turkey and spinach and wrap.
Ah, you got the spinach with that too.
Yeah, that's right.
Interesting. Not a huge fan of spinach and those kind of things. I do love spinach and eggs though. I have that like 5 times a week. That's just always my start the day meal.
Strong move, dude.
Yeah, what can I say? Very, very intelligent. Earthquake is the last card. I was thinking it was gonna be Fireball. So this is just gonna be so much pressure near the end of the game. Once it hits OT, he's just gonna be cycling Royal Hogs as often as possible. And even though those skeleton dragons are 1 health for one of them, he just can't go into that lane because the Zappies just do no damage when it comes to that.
And I'm casting with my mouth full here. There's the EQ and the log on the right-hand side, and it's all working out pretty well here for Legolas.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Michi was trying to do with that with that fisherman at the bridge. I guess he was predicting that he was going to go in, and then a missed earthquake as well. This is not what I like to see. Somehow, some way, he still gets a shot right there. Pretty crazy. But that was just too much for him to spend. Gonna come down with the earthquake, come down with the Royal Hogs. That'll get it down to about 200. Holy, never mind. It gets it down all the way, and that's gonna be a win for Legolas. 1-1. Very, very important game 3 coming up. GG, well played. uh. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I was muted, guys. I just didn't want you. Man, even all the trash talking I did about that was muted too. My lord, my lord.
You can't really repeat it.
I can't. I can't do it again.
Chat, just know he said some quality stuff.
Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Let's see what else they got going on. People don't know. I didn't know people hated talking with a mouthful so much. Yeah, that really hurt some people. That really did hurt some people for sure. But spinach tastes like nothing, which is why I don't like it. Guys, a little spinach salad. So spinach. This is simple, right? Spinach, olive oil, balsamic vinegar, salt and pepper. Maybe throw in some dried cranberries if you need that little sweet. Maybe a little sprinkle of goat cheese, or some gorgonzola. You know what I mean? Get in there, but it's nice, simple. And then throw in some goat cheese, probably the better choice. And then go with a little bit of thinly sliced green apples, right? Some green apple slices. Okay. Yeah, that's what's up, dude. That's what's up. A little green apple spinach salad. Next level stuff.
You have me wanting to make a sandwich of my own. I'm not an apple slices kind of guy. Because it always gets stuck in my teeth, and it's not worth it for me.
Fair enough.
But I might make like a sweet potato with it, and then, yeah, kind of excited right now.
Fair enough. I am unmuted now. Oh yeah, because the chat's like behind the thing. I was like, wait, what? Here we go. Game number 3. Bans are Miner and Tornado. And in case you're just catching up to us right now, interesting choice here out of Michi, and of course you see Michi Fu running Rocket, something he's done a lot in the past. Hog Rocket here for the Spaniard. This is a ban on first loss competition, which means that you don't ban. There are no bans in game number 1. Loser of game 1 gets a choice of a ban, and then loser of game 2, if that happens, gets a choice of a ban as well. And all bans are global, meaning they apply to both players in that game.
Wow, solid defense right there on that Lumberjack snowball. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out whether or not the bats were good, because I felt like, if he doesn't do the bats, he gets that one shot for free with the Hog against the Lumberjack, because he just can't place it fast enough. So I don't know if he should have recognized that or not. Just depends if he knows Legolas's actual decks and what he tries to run us in these kind of competitions.
First minute and a half away, and no one's really done much so far. A little bit of a ting on the right-hand side, a little bit of a bap on the opposite lane, but so far, kind of quiet, especially given the 2 decks that we're seeing.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really impressive if Michi can win this. I mean, Legolas, really, he just spams Royal Recruits in the back, and he can't really do much. Michi can't really do much if he goes in with just Royal Recruits, Lumberjack, Loon, and then arrows and Snowball. I mean, even with him cycling rockets, this is just going to be very, very difficult for him to win this game.
Inferno Dragon high, and the arrows clean all that up. Ice Golem will go down very quickly here because of that Inferno as well. There's a ton on the board right now. Legolas just pouring the pressure on.
Yeah, this is This is some good stuff out of Legolas. I love this deck choice by him.
Final 20 seconds of regulation. Bats to meet the Fisherman, and Snowball just to say, please stop. High Hog there to give a half step of a kite, but not going to get a whole lot out of it, although should get maybe 2, just one shot comes in. 50 HP, and now with that log, Michifu does take the lead for the moment.
Yeah, good stuff. Once it hits triple elixir, if he's not leading going into triple elixir, I'd say there's almost no chance for Michi to win this. So this, the next like 45 seconds is going to be very, very important to, to show who's going to be winning this.
With the lead right now is Michifu. Balloon comes down, this time into the same lane. Rocket comes out, and it feels like Legolas just, because of the quick cycle of Michifu, is never to have a chance to get past that rocket.
Yeah, he's defending this really, really well so far. And these hogs are always, like, his hogs are always getting shots, which is very, very impressive.
3-3 split. Arrows come in on the Firecracker to the left. If you're Legolas now, what's the key to winning here?
Well, he made it to triple. He doesn't... I mean, at this point, I feel like you just spam royal recruits at the bridge whenever you can. This is certainly not the situation that he probably expected to be in at this point.
Fisherman a half step late there on the Hog Rider.
Yeah, again, he's just getting those shots every single time he wants to. I like the archers in the middle. I think it's
Oh, the Lumberjack,
solid.
though. The Lumberjack going to town on the left-hand side. Balloon goes to the right-hand side. Lead for Legolas on the left-hand lane as we go into the final 25 seconds, and the Rocket to the right-hand lane. So right now it is Legolas holding on. 20 seconds left. The arrows clean up the Firecracker. 6:10 to 7:48.
Yep, we're just going to see a ton of pressure out of Legolas. Not allow him to get the rocket on offense is the main goal right here.
And
misses.
oh, he put the Fisherman too far out. The Fisherman doesn't pull the Hog Rider, and then just by a hair does not get the balloon on tower. So GG, well played. Michifu stops the Legolas train.
Wow, that is horrible. I mean, that is so sad to see. He played a solid game. Michi was playing really well, and he wasn't quick enough with the Fisherman. This time he was quick enough with the Fisherman, and then he placed it way off to the side. I mean, look at that. The matchup split for like a 7 out of 8 thing is supposedly 82-18, and Michi still wins the game. That is brilliant gameplay coming out of Michi.
Yeah, small sample size here with the only 22 games played, so not a ton there to make the matchup data. But yeah, that's one of those ones where you gotta imagine that Legolas would like back. I feel like that hog pull with the Fisherman, because you can completely counter the hog with the Fisherman, but it feels like it is one of the hardest pieces of timing that you can possibly get down correctly in this game.
Yeah, to be able to pull it off reactively, it's like near impossible, I would say. Whenever I'm running a deck like that, I always just have one finger on my Fisherman at all times on the correct tile, because it is very, very difficult to get that down. Yeah,
no, the timing is so brutal, and it's also one of those things where it's not just timing, but getting on that exact right tile with that timing. If you're not prepared, it almost feels like you have to be like completely ready, reading the cycle of that Hog Rider kind of perfectly to actually pull that one off. Otherwise, it's going to be at least one shot on tower every time.
Yep, exactly.
And yes, it is AC. Ah, crap. Commenting as the co here, so. We're having a good time just kind of talking about Clash Royale. AC, if you don't know him, it's kind of surprising that you're here, obviously. But if you don't know, AC has been a big part of competitive Clash Royale now. Going into your, let's see, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, going into your 6th year involved in competitive Clash Royale.
Yeah, it makes me feel old. I remember, I think it was Belican. He posted a picture when it was me against Pompeo doing a 1v1, and he was like, the OGs of the game. People were like, the legends of the game. And I was like, oh, I can't believe I'm considered one of the legends, one of the OGs. It blows my mind that that's how it is, and that I've been lucky enough to be a part of this since the very beginning.
So here we go, talking about some OGs. Two guys have been around about as long as you have in terms of Clash Royale, Beniju and Azilys.
Wow. Interesting MK right there. It gives off a little bit of extra damage, but we're going to see how Beniju wants to defend this.
Mega Knight to the left-hand side. And to answer the questions of the chat, no. And that's why I wear sunglasses all the time, so you guys don't continuously ask me that exact same question 1,000 times in a row. I'm too busy.
Man.
My lord. Josh, I told you, right? I told you.
Yeah, you told me. It is, I was not aware it was like this, though.
Yeah, immediate. But, you know, take it as you will.
Yeah. What can you do? What can you do?
You can wear dope sunglasses. That's what you can do. Here we go. Musketeer to the right-hand side, and you see. Look at Benny. Look at Benny the moment that golem comes down.
Wow. Yeah, I would react in the exact same way. I can't fault him for looking away from his phone screen right there.
And also excellent timing on the Ice Golem counter to the Musketeer to make sure that Ice Golem fully countered on the Muskie. That's not an easy one. It's a piece of tech that not everyone knows, that you can time that Ice Golem perfectly to get a +2 trade and no damage. So Benny certainly with a couple of laughs, and you can see some of the hardware in the back. Quite decorated player, and a lot of that hardware earned all in the same year of 2020. I mean, that's pretty crazy what Team Queso did, and sure, Ruben, you have Ruben, it makes it easier to do, no questions asked, but No Tilt League Special Edition, CRL West, and CRL World Finals.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, the 2v2 wasn't considered that strong, and then they finished really, really, really well in playoffs. They competed, and they did their job, and it made it a lot easier for Ruben. It was definitely a team effort right there. You know, props to them. They definitely deserved that win.
A lot of damage on the right-hand side. Poison getting a good amount of value in this right-hand lane. Musketeer working against the Mini P.E.K.K.A. does not get the shot on the Muskie, and now Magic Archer does get taken down a little bit. Mega Knight in cycle. This time, no funny business with the Mega Knight from Azilys.
Yeah, I mean, Beniju just cycles way too fast. I don't know why Azilys chose this. I don't know if he, like... Because usually, I saw someone asking, like, oh, is Mateja... Who was it that used the spell cycle deck?
It was Legolas who used the spell cycle.
Legolas. Yeah, someone was asking if he was trolling. I was gonna answer, but it was like, nah, I mean, he's this is a $40,000 prize pool competition. Of course he's not gonna be trolling. But I mean, it genuinely feels like Azilys is just trolling and, you know, enjoying himself.
It's
kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, it's wild. And again, a $40,000 tournament. That's the crazy part about it, right? But Azilys went with the Here's the thing. Azilys went crazy in day one and got a bunch of wins with it. Went meta so far in day two and had no success. So maybe that's part of his thought process here is, dude, let's get back to what I was doing on the other day, which was going absolutely bananas and see what happens.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, Golem at the bridge, Graveyard followed up. Like, there is easily a possibility that he comes away with his victory right here.
Yeah, Poison down. Skeleton's getting a couple more shots here. Pigs coming in. Is the Mega Knight's not available, though, for Azilys. And those pigs going to take that tower on the right-hand side. Snowball not going to be enough. 62 HP, Beniju. You can see the look on his face. Wow. Feels like he got away with one there.
Yeah, pretty intelligent play right there to not go in with the MK. If he does MK, then it's super, super easy for Beniju to just follow it up with a Magic Archer. So I love the idea right there. Stagger the defense, not allow him to get like a free win. Just wasn't able to get it in time, didn't have the DPS. Yeah, just a crazy win right there. Very, very interesting deck from Azilys.
And that's one of those ones where it almost, if you face that in a real match or in ladder, you usually, I mean, you'll get angry, right? You might even like take a screenshot of it. That's one of those ones where like you actually go and open up the opponent's profile and look at them, look at their clan, just kind of like hate view who is this person. But here from Azilys, you kind of it feels different for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, the way he played it, it kind of made it look like it was a real concept that, you know, you have the MK for splash, you know, you try and you can have multiple avenues of trying to get everything to the tower. But yeah, if I see that in ladder, I'm taking a screenshot, posting to Twitter, and complaining about matchups right there.
And the not often seen Furnace coming out in game number 2, Magic Archer the ban, and you understand why the Magic Archer ban would be there with Furnace. Of course, Poison counters nicely as well, and played a half step early by Benny, who in that one does not get the second Fire Spirit off the board.
Man, if you think back 2 years ago, one of the pro plays was, look at this Poison on the Furnace timing right here. You can have it so that none of the Fire Spirits are going to hit the Crown Tower. And now you take a look at that kind of play, and it's just a basic play at this point. It is crazy how much the game has evolved in the past 2 years.
Yeah. No, we at Super League, we made a whole tech video. Like, here's how you get the exact timing and placement of that Poison to fully counter Furnace. And now it's like, if you don't fully counter Furnace correctly, you trash, right?
Yeah. Yep. What are you doing?
And that one does get it right. You see the second Fire Spirit gets hit by the Poison. That's how you want that one to work. And yes, Morton did qualify yesterday. And Azilys, and look at the look on Benihu's face when the mirrored Furnace comes out. And this, I believe, is a potentially a loser leaves town matchup, because the loser would be on 4 losses here.
Yeah. Wow. This is and I was thinking, usually these kind of like Furnace mirror decks, they have like Goblin Barrel. This is just straight up minor Poison, I would assume. Maybe minor Fireball instead, because of how this meta is kind of evolved. I just, you gotta love them. You gotta love them.
Remember, these two are former teammates. Azilys playing as part of Team Queso in 2019. And I believe they played some 2v2 together. I'm trying to remember. I know that Azilys played some games with Dark. I feel like he and Benny got some in together as well.
Yeah, absolutely. At least around like the team house or something like that. They definitely know each other really, really well.
And again, I really wish we had Azilys face cam for this one, just to see what the heck is going on with him. The mirrored Furnace up high. Fisherman not able to get there. Musketeer will get there this time. The miner goes to tower on the left-hand side, and Benny, who leaking a bit there, trying to decide what he wants to do.
Yeah, I would love to see if he has these decks like set up, or if he would be on face cam and you can see him like crafting up these decks, because I would have no idea whether or not which one is the actual case.
Mega Knight does touch tower. Miner comes out and gets on that Fisherman, but a lot of damage there for Benny. 881 remaining as we go into sudden death overtime.
Yeah, I can't see him winning at this point. He needed to be playing like absolutely perfect defense every single time. He just has nothing for the MK. He has to use the miner on the MK. Fisherman is just going to town every single time, and this is just not what he was looking for. I don't know what he was trying to snipe, or if he said it doesn't matter what I'm playing against, I just want to run this.
Again, interesting choice in a $40,000 tournament, but you know,
with everything on the line.
Yeah, with everything on the line, but we'll see. I mean, look, he could. Here comes a second miner. Bats behind. So
wait a second.
This is the snowball takes the bats out. Graveyard in on the left-hand lane. Poison defensively. Can he control the Musketeer here? Because the Musketeer actually feels like the bigger problem right now than the MK, and he does control the Musketeer. Poison comes out offensively from Beniju, and now Azilys is going to go in hard the opposite direction. Log to take out the Hunter, a second set of bats behind, and the Miner not able to tank for those bats, so Graveyard will be in, Poison will be in, and Benny's going to take the victory here. Nice try there from Azilys is the best way I could put it, but in the end, Beniju playing a deck that makes sense, getting the victory.
Yeah. Props to Beniju. He was faced with something that no one has ever been faced with before, and he was able to prevail.
I certainly feel like I've played that or versions of that many times. The Furnace or the Goblin Hut Mirror deck. Furnace seems like the more popular one of those ones were. That person always does some sort of like, either it's the Magic Archer with the eyebrow, but it's always some sort of like Princess Kiss type emote.
Yeah, look at me. I'm so awesome. Look at what I'm running. And this is what you're running. Yeah.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, Azilys couldn't do that on this one.
Yeah. I would have liked to see a game 3 there. And we're going to see some more Azilys. Hey, Cashman in the chat right now on YouTube. And guys, let me go ahead and link Cashman's Twitch here in the chat. For those of you who want to watch the CRL Asia and Latin American regions, Asia is happening concurrently with EU earlier in the same day. And Latin America will be starting next week alongside the NA, the North America regions. And those will be all on Cashman's channel. He's also being nice enough to let me post the replays of those a couple days later here on YouTube, or a day or so later. So day 3 of Asia will go up here on YouTube, and following that, day 4 very soon. But if you want to watch those live, again, let me spam that in the chat here. Go follow Cashman on Twitch, and you can watch CRL Asia, or not CRL, Bren Chong Cup 2 Asia and LATAM regions live on Cashman's channel. So go ahead and give him a follow there. And he also has a pretty cool YouTube channel, so you can click him and jump on there as well. And as you can see, our current standings, Michi Fu easily on top at 5-1, and Azilys not officially out yet because Schwarzen could fall down to 3-4. And this is interesting because I don't know if Azilys and let me go see if Azilys and Schwarzen already played. Did they already play? Schwarzen beat Azilys, so this is really interesting. Azilys needs to win his next game to be 3-4.
Okay.
He needs Schwarzen and Beniju to both end up 3-4. If one of them ends up 4-3, of course he's out. If they both end up 3-4, he has to hope they both end up 3-4, and he has to hope that somehow his win rate surpasses Beniju's. I don't believe it's possible now, so I do believe, and I could be wrong here, but I do believe that the number 4 spot comes down to Schwarzen and Beniju here. I'm not entirely sure, though.
All I know is that I hope it's not like yesterday's. I want something that's not stressful. I can just look at it and cheer instead of, having to deal with what I saw on Twitter the other day.
Yeah, yesterday was nutty, and it does look like we're having a bit of an internet issue out of the production studio, so we're going to stay right here on this screen for just a little bit, folks, so we can see the standings here a bit more. Chief Keef, 0-7. He played through his first 3 matches and decided to withdraw from the tournament. So Chief Keef, 0-7 all the way through here. And DarkAngel, of course, eliminated as well at his 2-5. I don't know for sure, again, that Azilys is eliminated, but I believe that even if he wins his next matchup 2-0, that he would not be able to go above Beniju or Schwarzen at that point. Although Schwarzen currently 3-1 has not played many of his matches. If Schwarzen gets swept all across the board, if he loses a bunch, all 3 of his remaining matches, and loses 0-2 a few of them, there is technically still a shot for Azilys to pass, because if you have 3 players tied, then it goes to win rate. So
yeah, and it skips the head-to-head completely, correct?
I think so. Again, I don't really know. The rules are here, but I don't even know how the rules deal with tiebreakers precisely. So that's the only scenario in which Azilys has a chance, and I don't even know if he has that chance. So really it comes down to whether it's going to be Schwarzen or Beniju. Or keep in mind that Legolas and Mateja could also both lose their next 2 matches and go 4-3. So actually, 2nd through 5th place are actually all up in play. Michifu is the only one who I think has actually completely clinched his spot in the top 4.
Yeah, that would make sense. And I'm sure maybe like one of them mathematically has clinched it, but as far as we know, it's gonna be a race. It's crazy how like the top 4 though all have 1 loss compared to bottom 4.
So as a quick note, guys, there is a crazy snowstorm in Spain right now. Temperatures in Spain have dropped down to at one point dropped down to minus 25 degrees Celsius, which I don't even know what that is in Fahrenheit. I think it's death in Fahrenheit.
Wow.
But yeah, Spain had a major crazy snowstorm and deep freeze. And so there's been a bunch of challenges in terms of shipping there, in terms of internet there. So they've had a little outage in Spain for the moment. So we're waiting for them to get themselves back up. But that's the delay here, is that Spain is having some challenges with weather at the moment. So that's why we are currently on a delay, waiting for our next match to show up. So let's go ahead and turn to the chat here, which never turns toxic, and see what kind of questions you guys have. If you had a question you asked earlier, didn't get answered, go ahead. This is the time to throw it in the chat now. And as soon as we are back up with the matches, we'll go there. I already answered the Chief Keef question. Why do they show differential? Not entire. Differential matters, Mason, if 2 players are tied. I think that's the next one. Again, I don't know the exact tiebreaker rules here. Vermin Spencer saying in Madrid is crazy right now, so it might be some trouble in Madrid. Also some snow in the Czech Republic here, says Krasty. Minus number 25 is normal in my country of Finland, says Anton. Well, that's one of the reasons why I'm not going to be the Supercell, or not going to be the Clash Royale CM, is because it's very cold in Finland, and it's much warmer here in Texas.
That'd be funny if you're about to sign the contract and then you look at the weather and then you see that it's minus 25 and you just say never mind.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. How often do you have your beard? Pretty much always. I never go all the way down to skin. I trim it down pretty short when I do trim it, but I always at least have some facial hair on. And I don't like it. I don't like them to get much longer than this. I'll have to do a trim at a little trim sometime soon there. Will there be bans in duel mode? No, because duel mode already kind of is bans, right? Once you play a deck in game number 1, all 8 of those cards, you can't play them in game 2 and beyond. So duel mode would be extra. What kind of music do you listen to? I listen to a little bit of everything, Johan. AC, what about you? Is there something you're jamming to right now?
It's mostly rap, but I hung out with my friend the other day, and like he is like a huge jazz guy, and so he put me onto a bunch of like classical jazz kind of music that I think I'm gonna I really started vibing with, so I think I'm gonna get into that in the future.
Little Miles, little Coltrane, a little Brubaker, right? Is that what you're going with?
Do you know have you seen Big Mouth?
The TV show? No, I have a few friends who are on it, but I've never actually watched it.
Okay, there's one guy that comes up in Big Mouth that he showed me that I also really liked from him. And yeah, just those kind of people. And
hold on, what's the character in Big Mouth? Because I want to know if it's someone I know.
All right,
let me know, because I want to know. Yeah, tell me who the actor is, because I want to know if I know who it is. Let's see. Gutam asking
Duke Ellington.
Duke Ellington. I don't know Duke.
Okay.
But I know I have a few friends who do voices on that show, because it's Bill Burr's. I think did Bill Burr's company produce that? Who's the lead on Big Mouth? Oh no, it's Nick Kroll. That's Nick Kroll. Let's see. What kind of music? About everything. You mentioned jiu-jitsu. What's your rank if you train? I have never really put effort into to belt up. I've been a white belt at multiple different gyms, and I'm always in and out of the gym because of work. How tall are you? I'm 6 feet tall. You're what, 6'2", 6'3"?
6'2".
6'2"? Officially-ish, 6'2". Nice.
Yeah.
That what happened on Twitter yesterday? Don't know. Let's see. Nope, I'm not gonna. Your plug is not making it onto my chat. Sorry there, bud. What else do we have here? How long would you wait for a Zoom interview? I'm watching this to pass the time, but it's been 20 minutes. Are you interviewing for a job, or are you interviewing someone else for a job? If you're the interviewer, I'd be like, peace. If you're the interviewee, depends on how good the job is. Yeah. That's the big question.
If it's really good, I'm waiting patiently. I'm sitting with my thumbs twiddling. I'm just ready whenever they're ready.
Mance Raider asking, what is your second favorite player name in CR history aside from AC? It would have to be Greg, who's in the North America division of the Bren Chong Cup too. I don't know why. Just being called Greg makes me laugh really hard.
That would be especially funny if that's not his actual name, but I'm assuming it has to be, right?
How great would it be if that's not actually his name, and his name is just Greg? He just picked a name, and he's like, no, my name's Mark, but...
Well, it still blows my mind that everybody says, happy birthday, Ash, even though his name is Tim. That is such a weird thing to me.
Oh, yeah.
And I never know what to say really.
Yeah, that's always a fun one. Let's see. The feed is still. Hold on, we're still waiting on the feed. They are getting the feed back up. We'll as soon as we have it, again, we'll be back live with more Clash Royale. Hey, from South Africa, do you have a Discord server? I do, but I don't do a lot with it. Everyone else is more active. Everyone who's on my Discord server is more active than I am. I might link it at some point. Yeah, let's see. Perennial White Belt. Make Josh play Furnace Mirror on stream. I'm not gonna. I don't make him do anything, but he can do it on his own. Are there any other good questions here? Have you seen? I don't know if you're reading the chat. Have you seen anything good?
Rich, do you have a girlfriend?
Even better. Married. I'm married with a kid. I got baby boy Slaton. He's asleep in the next room. Just over 2 years old. Starts preschool this week. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Well, you know this. I don't know if you remember this, but baby boy Slaton was born the week of rehearsals, the first week of rehearsals for CRL NAEU back in 2018.
Wow.
I left. We had 3 days of rehearsals. We rehearsed Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then we were starting CRL the following Monday. And that Friday, I left rehearsal because Mrs. Slaton went into the hospital to have the kid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So my son it was born 3 days before the start of CRL. So that's pretty fun.
That's pretty awesome. Did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a crazy fall. Let's see. Other good questions here. How do I be a moderator? Stop promoting your own channel, Krasty. There you go. Boom. Gotcha. Some married guys still have girlfriends, says Mance Raider. Not this one, but that's fun. Let's see. Who do I think has the highest chance of winning the cup? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Ruben is always the best choice, right? Here's a good one. Cashman with maybe the question of the day, and I'll throw this one to you first, AC. Crunchy or smooth peanut butter?
I don't even know if I've ever had crunchy peanut butter. Smooth is just so amazing that I've never felt the need to even try the other one.
I have moved off of. I only eat natural peanut butter now, right? The kind where when you get it in the jar, the oil is separate. You have to mix it all together. So I guess it's all lightly crunchy because it's the natural kind now, so it doesn't get totally completely. They're saying we're about to come back here. I'm gonna reload the clean feed and see if that fixes things. They're saying that we're about to come back up.
Okay, it just showed 5 seconds ago that it started up.
Oh, well, me. I had just killed the clean feed, so let me go ahead and reload it.
Chicos, vamos a por...
And we are getting... That's Revel Amar's sound. We're getting Revel's sound here. Hold on.
Viene con nosotros a llamar a recordar que primera partida que se le llama Mateja va a tener que banear Legolas. Vamos a ver lo que le banea Legolas a Mateja. Y se la están ahora mismo jugando.
I'm going to go ahead and...
bueno,
there we go. Let's go back to the... That's what's happening.
De pie sentado, porque,
There's Revel's
me gusta estar
audio.
Tampoco me gusta estar todo el rato de pie, todo el rato sentado. Pero que vamos cambiando.
I'm going to go ahead and kill his sound here for a minute. We're going to be back into a match here in just a moment. Let's see. AC, you've never had crunchy peanut butter? Cashman just pointed out that that's what you said. You've never had crunchy peanut butter at all?
As far as I know, I don't think I have.
Interesting.
I definitely can't remember doing it.
And Vermin Spencer saying peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat, the Family Guy. The peanut butter jelly time song actually, I believe, predates Family Guy. Peanut butter jelly time. Let's look that up as long as we're waiting here for the match. But I believe peanut butter jelly time was first, released in 2004. I'm going to do a full, as long as we're waiting here. Oh, look, I think we actually have gameplay. Here we go.
Oh, what time are you at?
I am at...
A ver.
Oh, and...
¿Todo bien, Eduardito?
Oh my gosh, it still has Revel's audio. Hold on, let me tell them again. Revel's audio is still... I'm going to tell them right now. Still in. I'm at 235, 234, 3,
okay.
2, 1.
I'm at 223 right now.
Well, yeah, let's do some pause, and here we go. 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Nice. There we go.
Oof.
Loving it. Guys, we're back in action. Let's see if they've...
Hoy ha pasado de todo,
Oh,
¿no?
Revel's still in there. Let me go ahead and tell Moreno, tell the production here that that we still have this audio weirdness going on. And for now, it'll just be our dulcet tones.
Alrighty, we'll make sure to carry it then.
Peanut Butter Jelly time. Peanut Butter Jelly is an all-time great song, though. Gotta say. Let's see if we can...
Pero con estructura.
Nope, they're still Spanish. All right, well, we're going to keep that muted for now. And King Tower activation by Mateja here against Legolas.
Yeah, just barely. He got a little bit worried that we were going to get the rage situation going, and he wasn't going to activate it. I think that probably... Yeah, that would have just been rough if he didn't get that. Legolas really likes this deck on top. I don't know if this is back-to-back for him using this, but I know he used it against Michi. I don't know if he played anything after that, though.
And I know he's playing it right now. So, we have that piece of information.
That's very true, very true.
If you want to have a cavity, then chunky peanut butter will get stuck in your teeth. Brush your teeth, kids. Interesting. Well, I mean, I guess if you brush your teeth, then the problem isn't really a problem there. And let's see. Someone asking me to suggest a new card. You suggest a new card. There you go. This is without a doubt one of the strangest days. Let's see. Nope, still Spanish. All right, there you go. Well, this is enjoyable. I guess it'll be just our sounds, and there you go. Pigs to the right-hand side. Mateja now does have the lead, but I think it's going to be a very brief lead here.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. He pretty big mistakes coming out of from Legolas. He was playing so consistently well earlier on, and then I saw him miss that skeleton's kite, and he just gave up way too much damage because of that.
Cashman asking, what's our go-to karaoke songs? I don't do karaoke often, but go-to is Fight for Your Right to Party by the Beastie Boys. Because, there's not much in the way of actual singing in there.
Oh, yeah. What's that one where it's like Tamale or... It's... There's one song where it only says like one word and it's a bunch of like music and then it's like da-da-da. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know that one. That's a good one. Oh, here we go. Balloon freeze into the right-hand side, and Mateja is going to take the 2-0 sweep on Legolas. And, oh, boy, this division just got really, really interesting with Mateja taking the W. And they're going to change some audio outputs here in a second, guys, so that we do get the proper audio.
Yeah, there you go. Tequila. There we go.
I was trying not to say it because we're a family-friendly stream, but, there you go, chat.
I got so excited. Because I couldn't figure it out.
Dude, I know the feeling. I know the feeling entirely.
It was actually going to bother me for so long if we...
I would have rather it just bothered you for a long time. That would have been fun. But, Mateja is pronounced Mateja. Mateja. Am I pronouncing the "h" too hard? Is that what's upsetting you here? We have to wait again because they are they're doing a quick reset here to fix the audio output. So you and I will have to resync here one more time.
All right. Not a problem. We've been able to fix quite a few problems.
It's been a day. Hotel California, that's a song. Yeah, what's interesting is I choose karaoke songs that don't really have true singing in them, even though I can sing well enough that I got a call back on Book of Mormon back when I was still doing stuff in Hollywood.
I'm gonna look that up.
For as the lead, Book of Mormon, the play by Matt Stone and Trey Parker, creators of South Park. It was the best-selling music, like best-selling theater production for like years running. And the Comedy Store, they were casting for the touring company because there was one company in LA, one company in New York, and one that was touring. They were casting for the touring company and asked the Comedy Store to send them some names of people who might be able to do it. And they sent me in because despite being Jewish, I look like this. So they sent me in for the role, and I auditioned for the lead and got a call back I was able to sing it. I was able to sing it well enough to make it that far.
Man, good
Yeah.
stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. It was pretty fun. Yeah, the musical. Let's see. Oh yeah, because it was old Clash of Clans username is why CWA, not CWT. Good to know. Let's see. What country is Mateja from? I think is it Serbia? Is that right? Yeah, Serbian. Mateja is Serbian. Ooh, I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. I muted the mic to stream. Good job, Slaton.
Okay, but you didn't mute the mic for me.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So-
You got the full sneeze. The stream I protected. You just got blasted. All right, guys. We are thanks for putting up with this, guys. They're still teching stuff out. Again, there's a giant blizzard in Spain that has caused a lot of technical problems. Oh, they're asking how old you are. You just turned 20, right?
Yeah, no, I actually turned, well, I am 20. I turned 21 in like 3 months.
Ooh, fire.
Yeah, it's so weird. It is so weird. Especially with this past year, it feels like I haven't aged whatsoever. I still feel like I just turned 20.
Yeah.
Just because it feels like everything is on pause.
I know exactly. I know what you mean. I know the feeling for sure. Let's see. Ruben is the very champ, says somebody. I think that's accurate. Brosini's on the mic. Yes, but I turned the mic off though.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, I feel like you should be protecting me, not the chat, but it's
That's probably fair. I probably should have flipped the mic up like this and then did the sneeze that way. That's what should have happened. But
yeah. You know, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
oh yeah, guys, I'm not wearing any CR merch today, but I am wearing keying out a little bit. I used to main Wraith when I playing Apex. Lately, I'm playing a little more Gibby, a little more Lifeline, a little more Path, and still some Wraith. But Elvira asking how many languages can you speak? One very well, and then a lot very poorly.
Okay. What are the lot?
I speak a little bit of Hebrew, rudimentary Spanish, rudimentary French, and then I know a couple of words in a ton of languages. But yeah, I'd say that of my Hebrew's probably my best second language, and it's not even that good. But I guess I could tune it up if I spent a few months working on it, I could get it to be okay.
I see.
But I think the clean feed. Okay, I think we have a new clean feed. Here we go, guys. It's in the Discord right now. Let me go ahead and copy this to you real quick so that you can get yourself all nice and operational. And again, everybody, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being cool and understanding that we are it's strange times, guys. Oh, is that the wrong? Wait, I think I just went to the wrong clean feed. Hold on. Where's the new clean feed? Oh, they put it in the general chat. All right, here we go. New clean feed. It's coming in. Makore, Luis. Or Lewis. Makara. Besedo? All right.
That is Hebrew, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's see if we have sound again now.
Let's go.
Bueno, estamos.
But there's still Spanish audio. Oh, boy. Let's try it again.
Termina con todo.
It's still, you know what? I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. And you guys will be able to hear some Spanish audio way in the back. Rich, you're an IMDb. That was surprising. Yeah, Pez. I've did a lot of years of a lot of things, including stand-up comedy since 2008. Many years at the world-famous Comedy Store in Hollywood, etc., etc.
What time are you at right now?
I'm at 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11.
Perfect.
Boom. There we go. How long until the stream ends, more or less? Not sure, Sam Mechanic.
Anywhere from like an hour to 4,
Yeah,
depending on
we might
delays.
be here until 2022. So, who knows? Oh, and it's there's a few things. This is not so, guys. The Legolas Mateja match is over, but they have not changed the overlay. I'm going to at them one more time and try to get this sorted out the best that I can. But remember, keep in mind, guys, that they are having some trouble right now. Oh, whoops, that was not to you. Hold on, let me go and get back. Let me go back into the chat. I was sending those messages to you, not to the production. I've let them know that we still have the Spanish casters in the clean feed. And here we go. We are on to our next matchup. And let's see, Mance Raider. Oh, I guess someone asked about how I got the job, maybe. And yeah, Mance, there was a big casting call, an open casting call for CRL casters in the late spring of 2018. And the casting call was looking for somebody who had broadcast experience. For my casting call was play-by-play broadcast experience, comedy experience, and played the game. And I checked all three. So there you go.
Wow.
And I guess we're muting the feed. I guess we're gonna have no game sounds. So it'll just be silent gameplay. And there we go. So I guess it'll just be us. You know what? I'm gonna add in some music to this one. That'll be different music than the music on the other side. So hold on. So we'll have some gameplay music, and then we'll have some non-gameplay music. And while I do that, why don't you go ahead and take over for a minute so that there's something relevant to the actual gameplay happening as this is going down. AC, you still there?
Yeah, sorry, I was talking to my mom.
All right, let's see. I think this is different music here.
Wow, Michi's done a great job of getting just back into this game. He was down so much, and now he might have this.
And, oh boy, you know what I'm going to need to do here for a second? Is there a way to pre-mute this so I can adjust the volume before it goes out to stream? Guys, warning here. I'm about to add in some music. I'm going to try to make it not blow out your ears, but this is a warning to turn down your mic or take your ears away from the thing for a couple moments here while I get this music in. All right, ready? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In comes the music. And let me go ahead and put that music. Let me do some advanced properties here so that I can hear how it's coming in. I told you guys it was coming, by the way. Let me go to monitor and output. There we go. And now we'll come back. There we go. All right. I told you guys. So now we have music in the gameplay, and we have music here, different music, so you know which one is which, and you won't just be listening to myself and Josh talking over silence.
So right there, when you were like, "Chat, I need you to get ready," I got ready as well because I didn't realize that it wasn't gonna pop up in my ears.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, guys, song requests are not available because we're gonna abide by copyright regulations. But do you? You were at 100 volume in yours on a 9th message. Who ended up advancing yesterday? Lucas Gunsberg. Yesterday, the 4 who advanced were Morton, Cucci, Lapo, and Predator. That's the 4 who advanced yesterday. And we'll see who advances today, although it looks like we probably have a lot of our information so far. A little more info on that one fairly soon. And again, we've had some delays because of technical challenges, but it does happen. And if you haven't yet, guys, if you want more scintillating conversation like this, to see more super dope shades, to watch some Clash Royale and occasionally hang out with some technical difficulties, subscribe to my channel. I haven't plugged my subscribe enough, but do it right now. Subscribe to my channel, and you can get more things like this and or better. There you go.
There you go. Chat, you owe him for doing this for you.
yeah. There you go. That's one way to put it. Let's threaten them. Chat, if you don't do it, you don't want to know that. If you don't sub, you don't want to see what happens. You don't want to see the results that would occur if you didn't. We hit 16K yesterday, by the way, guys, which was super cool. Thank you very much for being a part of that, everybody who's here. Those of you who are subscribed, 16,000 subs here on this channel, and we were at under 2,000 when the year started. So that's pretty cool.
Wait, when January started?
Yeah, in January I was I believe I was under 2,000 in January.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
No,
is-
not this January, last January,
Okay.
2020.
Okay.
No. Sorry, I forgot that now. That's 2021. January in 1 year, we've gone from under 2,000 to 16,000.
Okay. Still phenomenal, but 14K in 14 days, starting at 2, would have been absolutely nutty.
It would have been like what happens with some CRL pros, like when Igor launched his channel with no voice and no face cam and still got like 40,000 subs in a minute.
Yeah. Have you seen Pompeo's YouTube channel?
Is he posting on it these days? I thought he wasn't.
No, but like he has like an insane amount of views on all his videos and subscribers and stuff, and it was like super low quality, like good videos just because it's Pompeo, but I mean no voice, no overlay, and it was getting like 400,000, 500,000 views.
Yeah.
And yeah. So some pros just get crazy engagement with those kind of things.
Yeah, does he stream? Does he do? I don't think he does anything.
I don't think he does anything.
And yeah, he has 150,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he does no content. Bananas.
Yep.
Absolutely bananas.
Yep.
That's money on the table there, buddy. Come on. Get in the game. Hey, Rich, are you familiar with empanadas? Yes, I am. Why do you have 4 A's in your nickname? Well, actually, an even better one. Why are the A's different in every single one of your accounts?
Yeah. So let me start with the 4. It's because like 1 was a banned word, and so then I just spammed a bunch, and then it worked. So then I liked that. But then, like for YouTube, I think it's only 1, and that's because it didn't let me do 4, because I think it wants like technically real names or something like that for the accounts. So 1 was the only thing that worked, and then for Twitch. 4 was for my original Twitch account, but then I made a different one because I think I was like shadow banned or something like that, and then I never made the 4, like I never changed that one, so then 4 wasn't available, and so then I just made it 3. So I just like to make it as difficult as possible to keep
find
up
you.
with,
Yeah.
to keep up with my adventures.
Yeah, no, it does make sense. That the last thing you want is to actually be able to find you and engage with your content. So
Exactly.
here we go. Schwarzen, Michifu, Michi up 1. After this, we only have 3 matches left. Azilys, Legolas, Beniju, Schwarzen, and Mateja, Schwarzen. So we'll see how those ones shake out. But right now, Michi and Schwarzen. Did Buffmac make it or nah, bruh? I don't think actually we've gotten to. Buffmac plays in 2 days. Buffmac's in Group D. Group D is only halfway through their action, so we don't know yet if Buffmac made it or nah, bruh.
I love how you're saying that.
Yeah.
What time are you at? Luckily we have.
I'm at 141, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34. Boom.
Do you know why I'm always 5, 6, 7 seconds ahead of you?
I don't know. It happens actually with literally every single person I do clean feeds with. They're always a few seconds ahead of me, and I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's because I'm mirroring, like, I'm not watching it directly on my iPad. My iPad is working as my spectating device that connects into my computer, and that's how I load it into OBS.
Okay.
So maybe that's why it's always like that with whoever I do clean feeds with. Not entirely sure. I'm on fiber optic now, so my internet is bananas fast.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard some great stuff from it.
Oh yeah, and I'll do. Oh wow. Oh my.
Michi Fu.
Oh my. Oh
Not
my.
understanding the pull technique. If you guys are wondering like why it didn't pull, you have to let it lock onto the tower for like a half second. You can't just have it hit and then do it. It has to like set itself onto the tower and then you can finally pull it. It's a super annoying situation, but you know, it is a consistent interaction. I just He just didn't get it correct that time.
What's more super annoying, that happening or the fact that Michifu is running P.E.K.K.A. GY Loon? There you go. That's how you do the poll. Michi got it correct that time.
It's almost like he didn't mess it up the first time.
By the way, this is a little note on my internet speeds. 744 megabytes down, 762 upload, and a 6 millisecond ping.
Okay, because I have like a 500 download or something like that, but my upload is only 20 or 25 or something like that.
Yeah, you're on like Comcast or Spectrum or one of those cable companies.
You said 700 upload?
Yep.
Oh,
Boom!
man.
Tower goes down. Schwarzen does beat the troll deck. We're going to game number 3.
Wow, that was just not a fun game to watch. That was just brutal. I mean, he just did whatever he wanted in that matchup.
That was a lot of things. But the most important thing that happened during that entire matchup is we talked about how fast my internet is, which is crazy right now. Google Fiber, dude. That's one of the benefits of Austin is high quality internet.
All right, I'm sold.
Yep. There you go. 6 millisecond ping. Yeah. Basically, things are downloaded before I click them, and then uploaded the same way. It's pretty crazy.
Wow.
Let's see. When is NA? Good question there. NA, the first day of NA is going to be the 18th. So NA starts in 3 days. North America Group A starts on the 18th. That's going to be earlier in the day, by the way. That starts at... Oh, wait a second. Did they change the time of that, or is it the same time of day? I thought they changed it. I thought we were doing a different time for that. Okay, I guess it's the same time of day. Never mind. NA starts on the 18th, and that's going to be Group A is going to be Mini Minter, Latak, Sweep, Modaz Light, Colton Borlax, No Candy, and Steven G. Group B for NA is Air Surfer, Brighton, who you've seen in the chat here a fair bit, Allah, Parker DeBoss, Bag, Kasim, C. McHugh coming back into competitive play here, AC, and Dread Unlock. Group C, Boss, Daniel, Razzer, Chris Hart Lava, Magma, Eternity Star Wars, and Greg. And then, oh, look at that, in Group D. CR Sucks, So Rob, J Skippy, Hazard, a Juicy One, Sandalia, Cheesecake, and some guy with 4 A's in his name. Actually, only 3 in this one. AC playing in this tournament later.
Ooh, I am so excited for it. I really am. I think I'm either gonna finish top 3 or like 7th.
Nice.
I don't think it's gonna be an average. It's either gonna be really good or just bad.
Fair enough. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 3 here of Michi and Schwarzen. And my hope for you is that you win $15,000. That's my hope.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I would love that.
Get it done. Rich does not do shout-outs. Who am I supposed to shout? Who am I supposed to not shout out? Eric Infante, I will not shout you out. Very important. How much do I pay for the Wi-Fi? $70 a month. For that level of speed. It's pretty fire.
Yeah, I feel like that's not that bad whatsoever.
So here we go. It's going to be Loon again for Michi against, looks like, Lava Miner for Schwarzen. Hunter Band. So you understand why the Loon is good.
Yeah, great bowler placement from Michifu right there. Knows the tile placement. I mean, that is like a really neat play from him because he knows the exact tile placement for a flying machine that's going across like the middle of the bridge, where it locks onto the bowler instead of the tower. That's just like a really, really solid play from him.
Lumberjack goes under the Lava Hound to the left-hand side. Flying skeletons, skeleton dragons will come right behind it. That's the Muhammad Parsa deck. Oh, that was the Muhammad Parsa deck that he was running. The P.E.K.K.A. GY. That's Muhammad Parsa's deck. The P.E.K.K.A. Gold. P.E.K.K.A. Loon GY.
Yeah.
That's the only negative, Josh, of the and for me of ladder being the main, like, how we actually do this, is that now I have to really make sure I learn all of those famous one-trick decks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rely on you. I'm gonna rely on you to coach me on that.
Okay, for sure. I can do that. This is actually, I was gonna say, like, this is the oh my goodness, why can't I think? Who's the Romanian player?
Royal, you were friends with him for a long time on the same team.
I always one-trick this deck. And I'm close with him too. I don't know why I can't think of his name. Huh. Well, now I just feel kind of bad.
Here we go. The balloon to the right-hand side. Is there a freeze? Not the time to play it. On the left-hand side, it is the Skeleton Dragons being kited a little bit by the Lumberjack, which works out very nicely for Michi to hold up on this defense. Baby Dragon does come down in response. Miner to the back. But there's and the defensive freeze to hold on here. At the moment, Michi Fu in the mix, but behind on Elixir.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be one of those decks where you can easily steal with just a random push, and that's going to be Lumberjack getting a decent amount of damage, plus that almost being able to... It is going to get at least one shot.
Oh, boy. Lava Hound on the left-hand side. Tower going to be down to under 600 HP here, even further now with the arrow support. And the Miner turns the Inferno Dragon, and the Pups are trying to get there. Do not quite. 114 to 358. This is a tight one. Let's get in nice and close. Skeleton Dragons to the right-hand side here for Schwarzen. And that might have been a bit of an overspend on the Skeletons on the right-hand side, although they will go all the way across to get on the tower. Minute 23 left. The freeze comes in. Balloon should get a connection. And there you have it. Balloon's going to do it. Michifu takes this 1 in 3.
Yeah, great stuff from Michi Fu. Recognizes that, even though it's super low, those kind of, it's hard to get that final bit. And so with the wasted Skeleton Dragons, he can just go opposite lane. Great stuff. And then it was Flaw. I can't believe I couldn't remember it was Flaw.
Oh, it's Flaw, yeah. He kind of disappeared, though.
Yeah, in my defense, he did.
That
was bad.
I forgot Flaw was a thing until you said that. That's how much Flaw disappeared. So there you go. DJ Shreyas saying with a $7 Canadian dono, "Hey Rich, I love your streams. They are amazing. Thanks AC for your great insight today. And thanks Bren Chong for putting on this amazing event." Well, you're welcome on behalf of all three of us.
Yeah.
And thanks for the dono. Do appreciate it.
How much is Canadian $7? That's like $30 US, right?
Yeah, it might be. It's either $30 or 30 cents. I'm not sure which. But I feel like, okay, whenever you see a book, right? If you look at the back of a book, it always says, like, this book is $10 US and then $16 Canadian. Yeah. So my guess is that $7 Canadian is like $4.50 US. That's my guess.
It's a good guess.
Something like that. Let's do the math on that. Let's do it while we're waiting for our next game to happen. Let's do Canadian to US dollars. Here we go. And we're going to put in $7 Canadian. And I was off by $1. It's $5.50 US. Congrats, Canada. Nice work there. $5.50. Do you guys know that little about Canada? Like, do we know? We don't know the exchange rate? I'm sorry, we don't know the exchange rate. I don't make a lot of. I like Canada fine. I've spent some time there. Performed. Did a bunch of shows. Did like a run through Edmonton, Calgary, Olds, and Whitecourt. But I just don't know the exchange rate because I do zero commerce between here and Canada, and I've never done. Hisham, I've actually read multiple comments of yours, but now that you say that, I'm reading no more comments of yours. How about that? How about that? You've been de-commented because of that. Because I've read multiple comments of yours. How dare you accuse me? I just definitely read ones that someone donates for because that would be super rude not to. E-barbs from Azilys. All right.
It is crazy how much value bats can get. It's the most frustrating thing ever when you have that 6 elixir going down the field and it just gets eaten apart by them.
I'm glad though that bats are playable. I think that's important. They're playable. And they're one of the cards that's kind of difficult to balance. I feel like they're reasonably balanced now, though.
Yeah, I think they're in a pretty solid state. Because I totally agree with that. They are one of the most difficult cards to make sure that they're properly balanced. And Azilys running a quite wild deck again.
Yeah, I do enjoy it for sure. Let's see, Yoshi, welcome. Good to see you here. I've been watching the whole stream. There's 2 more matches left, I believe, after this one. Do I play poker? I used to play poker for real money. I spent a year there were a few years where poker was how I made all my spending money.
Really?
Yeah, there were a few years when I lived in Scotland. I was playing poker like 5 nights a week.
Man, I love poker. In fact, my dream job is to cast poker tournaments or play poker professionally.
All right.
I can't tell you, like, my entire YouTube is filled with just poker recommendations. Either people who vlog their poker trips or just, like, tips on how to become a better player.
Very interesting. Yeah, I started playing during the big poker boom, like when the World Series of Poker got crazy popular.
Mm-hmm.
And I played for a few years through and after that, and yeah, I was not bad. I was a pretty decent cash game player and a not a bad tournament player either. But
Wow,
better cash game player. And there you go, the freeze out of Azilys. And that's going to be a ton of damage, and Legolas has got to be a little annoyed with that.
Yeah, I really like this deck, even though I think it's kind of terrible. Because he just lost right there. But it is a fun deck for sure. So props to Azilys.
Look, you've been known for playing some pretty wackadoo stuff here and there, and especially in your outside of CRL competition.
Yeah. But even then, I still tend to not run decks like this.
Fair enough. Game number 1 goes to Legolas. And as you can see on the right-hand side, Legolas, a win here would guarantee him. I believe he's already guaranteed. No, he's not guaranteed yet, because I don't know if Benny and Schwarzen have played. But a win here would guarantee him a top 4 spot. So big match here for Legolas. How do I compare poker to Clash? There's some commonality there, but you know, one of them is live action and one of them is real slow. Who am I talking to? That would be Joshua Awcrap Sharon, former North America, one of the only North American Clash Royale League champions, and also a CRL West champion as well. Not to mention the World Cyber Games. On top of that,
a lot of accolades.
Yeah, there's some hardware in that cabinet there. Is there? You know what? Here's a serious question for you. Which one of all the different things that you've won, of all the different accolades here, which one does actually mean the most to you?
Mean the most?
Like if you could only put one on your profile, which one would it be?
I think, okay, if I could only put one of them on my profile, I think it would be the NA. I think the one that I'm most proud about is, actually, it might be the World Cyber Games. Because, like, that's the one where I was like, yo, this is, like, a real thing. This is, like, the coolest thing ever. I have a gold medal on my shelf. Like, it is crazy to think about me playing a mobile game and getting awarded a gold medal in China. And I think that's the one that I'm most proud about.
That's actually that's really interesting. I never thought of it that way. Pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty nice. Pretty nice.
So as you can see, Michi Fu is done for the day with his 7 matches all played. Michi Fu has guaranteed himself a spot through. Mateja has one more match to be played, but he has already clinched a spot in the top 5, or in the top 4, so he'll go on through to the regional finals. Legolas with a win here would guarantee him a spot through. A loss here, though, does potentially open the door for both Schwarzen, for either Schwarzen or Beniju, or potentially for both of them, to leapfrog him, depending on how things shake out.
Okay, so the deck that Azilys is running, I'm pretty sure this was a deck that was fairly popular like 3-4 years ago. I don't remember who it is. I think the average elixir cost is like 5.1, I want to say. And like the way he defended that graveyard, I was pretty sure that was the case. I don't think he has any spells. And the deck just kind of overwhelms eventually. But this was a deck that was used like before Nita was even created. I wouldn't be using this in a competitive game for sure.
Yeah, this is again, Azilys just been on one all day today. Has been a whole tournament. He does no spells, does have Wizard and Witch, so there's some magic on the board, but oh boy, what an interesting, as far as choices go, what an interesting one.
Yep, that's exactly how I would say it as well.
Guys, there are 2 matches left after this one. Beniju versus Schwarzen and Mateja versus Schwarzen. So we'll see those 2. No way.
Yep, I remember that. It was no small spells and Rocket. Oh, that's so funny. I cannot believe he must have looked through like the screenshots of when he first started playing this game, because this was a deck that a lot of pros and a lot of just like higher up players used to copy, because this one dude would only run this deck and he would be able to steal wins so easily from so many different really quality players. And so everybody used to run it just to mess around. I cannot believe he was able to just find this.
This is a throwback. Let's see if he actually is able to break through and get any real damage. Rocket does get on tower, so Azilys does do a little bit. And with 1:45 left, we'll see if he can make Legolas sweat a little bit here today. 13:29 on the right-hand side, 14:31 on the left. Graveyard now in with the baby dragon. Not tanking, though. Princess working on the skeletons rather than on the baby dragon. And look at that, the defensive freeze out of Azilys. This is fun.
Oh, man. Freeze isn't going to be able to make the baby dragon retarget to the wizard, so that's going to be a lot of damage coming in. And, I mean, he has the pump set up, so in theory, he can possibly get like a rocket on the Ice Wiz and the bomb tower.
In theory.
But
well, not that theory.
Yeah, I love what he was going for.
Oh, and you see he was going for the bomb tower Ice Wiz rocket there, yeah.
At least he got the pump up, so that's cool.
And those barbs are going to get shredded by the bomb tower.
Yeah, not sure what the idea was right there.
You know, maybe he just thinks bomb towers need more opportunities to kill troops. Who knows?
Yeah. I agree that that's what he was trying for.
And Rocket this time will just go right to the Ice Wiz. 12:88 left-hand lane, 30 seconds left. And the freeze pulls the balloon to the opposite lane. This feels like a GG. And
yeah.
Legolas calling 1-2. Yeah. Azilys is just entertaining us at this point.
I don't know what to say, really.
Yeah, we're both stunned here. Well, it's just like this worked out so well. It worked out so well for him in day 1 of match play for this group, and then I guess Then he played some really interesting stuff. I mean, he played like really meta in his first 2 matches today, lost them, and then started playing like he was out of the tournament already, which he wasn't. Oh, interesting here. Varen, the veteran gamer, asking who's casting the NA part. I'm NA, and Cashman will be doing LATAM. So here's the there are the links for that. I think that's how it is. Yeah, I think I'm doing NA and he's doing LATAM. Actually, I need to double check that. I think that's what the assignments are, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Yeah, I'm doing NA and he's doing LATAM. There we go. Cool. So I was like, yeah, I'm not casting that late. Perfect. Wait a minute. Who are you? I don't know. Who are you? There we go.
James. I
Yeah.
feel like the name says who it is.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Who are the players of Latin America? In LATAM for this event, Group A is Anaban, Código, Lich, Yafo, Anton, Thiago, Henancava, and Lince. Group B is Pompeo, Surge TS, Framcito, Yerson, Lauda, Fabricio, Chase, and Ali. Group C is Sergio Ramos, Wallace, X Pedro, Diego E, Joao Zinopan, SMR Thomas, Stang Sand, and Ace Wanpa. And then Group D is going to be Yosoy Rick, Lucas, Flash, Pasoda, Samuel, Betfos Expo, Mini Mao, Bruno, and Coca RX. That's the LATAM lineup. So there you go. There's all your information. I'm not bored from streaming so much competitive. I just wish we had... I hate it when we don't have sound. It's actually, when there's no sound, it's really hard for me to concentrate on casting. That's a little interesting thing. Like, when I don't have sound, like this, I use the sound cues for things so much. So when I don't have sound from the gameplay, it actually makes it really hard for me to cast.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense.
And the clean feed's down again.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, guys, there's a problem with Spain. I'm gonna eat an apple real quick. I'm gonna close my mic so you guys don't get ASMR'd. Because I'm not trying to hit you guys with that ASMR life. 1 second.
So chat definitely can't hear it, but I can hear it, and I love the ASMR life, so I'm totally fine.
Just so you guys know, Josh can still hear me, but you guys can't. So I'm giving Josh the full. I'm like really chewing the heck out of these.
Yeah, you are. You're trying to go fast or something, but you are going strong. That's for sure.
Chief Keef dropped out of the cup there, Bart Vandeloo, so that's why Chief is there. Mahmoud asking why are there no girls in the Bren Chong Cup. They weren't amongst the invited pros. I guess there's not much in the way of like very, very high profile professional women at the moment, but I'm excited for CRL 2021 to maybe open that up a bit. And then I don't know if any women attempted to qualify. But, then there were open qualifiers, and that was all based on if you won or not. But that's the fun part. I don't care who you are, what you do, where you're from. CRL 2021, all you have to do is make top 1,000 ladder. So there's no, it's not about who you know. There's no teams that do tryouts or don't do tryouts or recruit this person. There's no need for anything other than you making top 1,000 ladder, and then you're in CRL. That's pretty cool. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's gonna be really neat, especially with how ladder is gonna end up each end of season. Like, it's gonna be exciting. Like, just so exciting to see how that's gonna work out.
Looks like we're gonna have another new clean feed here. I'll send this to you in a second.
Okay, cool.
Hold on. Here's our next new clean feed, and I'll go ahead and get I'm going to copy the link for you, and let me go ahead and put mine in 1080 so that we have a good quality picture. And boom, there we are into gameplay. I'm going to send the clean feed over to you. 1 second, here we go. There you go. There's the clean feed. There's the link for you.
Perfect.
Let's see if there's Spanish audio here or not. Yep, there's still Spanish, so we cannot do it with game. I just want gameplay sounds. I really do. Historically there have been 2 women who've played in CRL so far. Sia played on WEDGM and did play a couple of games, and so did Aurora? The Aurora, who's not AUK, who played for Nova, which made it even more confusing.
Yep. I remember that.
Although I don't know, did she actually play any games in that season for Nova? I didn't watch that season.
I have no idea. That's why I was hoping that I wasn't gonna say anything just because I was waiting for you to comment on whether or not she actually played.
Man, I don't remember. But again, this season is going to be really cool. I mean, there's a lot. The big thing for me that I'm excited about is players from maybe regions that didn't get much attention in the past, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of I know that there's a lot of Indian fans out there who are maybe putting a lot of hope behind 8-Bit Smoke for this upcoming year, and see if he has a chance to kind of put India on the map in CR in a way that hasn't really been seen since Prashant, since PP. I'm trying to think of what are some other areas that. Well, I'll be curious. What I'm actually curious to see is, there you go, win for Schwarzen. I'm curious to see how many players Portugal is able to advance through, because I know there's a lot of really good Portuguese players, but Vitor is the only one who broke into CRL. But Portugal does have a lot of talent, and so does Romania, as we've seen in international competition as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. I just want to see if I guess Germany as well. The big 3 of like Germany, Russia, Brazil. I just want to see if they're like dominant or how that's gonna work out. Also South Korea, China. Those I want to see if it's just gonna be like the main countries just dominating or because they're just always so consistent in those like no tilt world kind of things. So it's gonna be interesting to see, just what they can do.
Yeah, that's gonna be the really interesting one. Japan obviously has a lot of talent. Spain has a lot of talent. Mexico has a lot of talent, a lot of ladder talent in particular. A lot of interesting questions around a lot of the top tier Mexican ladder pros. And Mexico is, I believe, the top rated country historically on ladder. Especially
so Güero,
yeah,
and Anaban can just those two, and I mean just the big three of Güero, Anaban, and Pompeo can beat 99% of every other country.
Yeah, that's where it gets really, really crazy, is when you look at those three specifically. Although on Twitter, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, Anaban saying that he is kind of going dark on Anaban and starting a new account with a new name, and that we might be seeing like kind of Anaban secretly making his way into CRL this year.
Really?
That's
what? So is he just doing that because he doesn't want? Because the only reason you would do that really is so that people can't snipe you. But if he's doing that, it means that he's using the same decks, and then it's going to be easy for people to recognize who it is.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. Obviously, if you see Pekaloon Freeze, you're like, is this?
This guy has never played in any comp events, and yet he's finishing 8th on ladder.
This guy Nanabat is playing Pekaloon Freeze? That's weird. That would be one interesting one. So maybe it's just a rebrand thing, right? There's I'm gonna actually just DM you the name here because I don't want to put somebody on blast.
Okay.
But there's a player that I just DM'd you here, who has done a very successful job, I think, of sort of rebranding from maybe a more toxic past personality and getting into being a more positive and possibly more successful member of the community in 2021.
Yeah, that was a necessary rebrand, and so far he's done a pretty good job of keeping it how he's supposed to.
Yeah. So, maybe that's some of what Anaban's thinking. I don't know. I have no idea what his thought process is, but very curious. And Michelangelo quoting my old one-line bio from my old comedy bio in the chat. That's hilarious. But
cool.
that's on there. There you go. Balloon to the left-hand side.
Wow. Cannot believe it is actually able to make it to the tower. Schwarzen with a huge advantage. Let me just confirm where you're at right now.
I'm at 110, 9, 8, 7, 6,
Perfect.
5. Yeah, there we go.
I kind of delayed my wow just in case I was a little bit too early, but I think I got the timing pretty spot on.
Yeah, you were man, Michelangelo just really really going with the weird deep cuts here in the YouTube chat, and it's hilarious and almost moderately embarrassing that's what I was used to promote me for a long time. Here we go, left hand lane. Beniju in a lot of trouble here. No Xbox. Yeah, there's been no Xbox, aka Expo, anywhere. And there are some players who are still running Expo pretty well, but I don't think it has any viability in competitive right now.
Yeah, I know I tried using it in the last competition I played. I think it was like Gamergy or something like that. I used it twice and then ran against Minor, Wall Breakers, Earthquake, Cycle both times. There's just too many comp decks that are set up to just beat those kind of decks.
Yeah, that, and you take the big change to Expo, and you put those two together, and that's a tall order.
Yep, it's a disaster.
Although Expo's still viable on ladder for some top Expo players.
Yeah, so some of them are just able to make it work.
But I don't think that we're going to see Expo. I doubt we see Expo crack top 10 anytime soon. Not for a ladder, not for a season finish.
Yeah, I don't. Do you know how popular ISPO is?
I don't.
Still?
I haven't seen a lot of ISPO. Is it high? Is it popular at top ladder?
I don't know. I'm thinking that if there is going to be an Expo, it's going to be ISPO, just because it doesn't necessarily need that, but I don't even know if it's that popular anymore.
Yeah, but doesn't Icebo rely more on the fact that the Expo is so good defensively rather than on Expo's offense?
Actually, this is a great push from Beniju.
Yeah, this is a lot of things.
I think, I don't know, Icebo, just Expo in general is just in such a weird spot.
That's just I mean, I could be wrong in that assessment, but it feels like because the new Expo is more offensive rather than defensive, that hurts Icebo specifically.
Yeah. And with all the spell damages, nerfs, and all that kind of stuff, yeah, it's just weird.
And the question to why is there no sound? Because there's a problem in the production booth, and they were not because we've had some issues because of technical problems in Spain right now, and due to a blizzard, and we're back up, but the clean feed that's coming in has the Spanish casters over it. So rather than, and there you go, Benny does tie things up there.
That's a really good win.
Yeah,
Benny.
It's a really good win. Go ahead.
He just understood that he needed to spam only with snowball and arrows, and for the spells for Schwarzen, he just stacked a bunch and then was able to overwhelm. Just really, really good gameplay from him.
Yeah, very, very good play as well. And yeah, just as a note for the sound thing, they're having technical issues in Spain because of a blizzard, so they aren't able to remove the sound because we had the stream freeze, and we're trying to keep the stream up at the moment. So yeah, we're taking the sound out, because otherwise you'd be hearing the Spanish casters and not even really the gameplay there. So that's what's happening with all of that. Is what it is, and hopefully we get everything sorted out for tomorrow and the rest of the tournament. I don't want to say hi to South Africa. Hi, South Africa. People assume, guys, you guys can see the reflection of my screens in my sunglasses, right? Look at how many screens I have going. Screen down here, screen here, screen here. Look at how much stuff is on my screens. Look at all the things that are happening. If I don't acknowledge your comment, yeah, you know what? Actually, you know what? If I don't acknowledge your comment, take it personally. Take it very personally if I don't acknowledge your comment. It's specifically about you. If I don't acknowledge your Are we catching on here, guys?
No, it's too good. It's too good.
Yeah. Medi Kesri saying, I need girlfriend. Any advice there, Josh?
I don't know. I would probably just go up to just a bunch of girls and say that. That's probably my advice.
I'd say shower. That's a first start. That's a big one.
That's big.
After that, it's all up to you. But yeah, I'd start with showering. That always helps. Let's see. You need to answer every comment, says Chris Morello. Good point. The nephew of famous Rage Against the Machine guitarist Tom Morello. I'm just guessing. That
would be really awesome.
That would be pretty dope. It'd be even doper if Tom Morello was in the chat. If Tom Morello was here, and we just found out that Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine is a massive, massive CR fan, that would be the best. Let's see. Who's the other person? Humda. There you go. There's the answer to your question. Kaboom. And here we go into game number 3. Benny and Schwarzen tied up here in games. This is game number 3 of this one, and then we still have one more. Schwarzen goes against Mateja in the final match of the day. So this is there are potentially just 3 more games left on the day. One more match after this one.
You're at 2 flat, right?
58, 57.
Yep. Okay.
There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see, people asking what your name is. Well, I've been spamming it in the chat every 7 minutes, so there it is in the chat. Check it out. You play Pokemon, Luis? No, I do not play Pokemon. Although I did play Magic cards, which was like the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like the Pokemon cards of my youth. So, and Electro Giant here for Schwarzen.
So what did I'm trying to think what Beniju did as an adjustment. I think he did Mini P.E.K.K.A instead of Fisherman. I wonder why he chose Mini P.E.K.K.A this time. But I think it's gonna work out because I love, this is like my favorite play of all time, and it used to be the most obnoxious thing ever. But like these Mini P.E.K.K.As with the Giants or with the RGs, it's so unbelievably powerful, and it looks like such a dumb play. But you see pros do it, and then they take towers easily. So it's just the right play, even though it looks so weird.
So what about this 2-tower game here? That E-Wiz is gone. We get the nice little reset there on the log. So pretty even slight elixir advantage here for Schwarzen, and it's a crosswise game. Do you think this benefits Beniju with the RGs in the pocket, or do you think that Schwarzen has enough defensive tools here to take this out?
I am not really sure. I was going to say I don't see Beniju doing that many RGs in the pocket, just because I don't think it's going to get that much value since he has NATO, he has Gob Cage. If he plays it in the pocket, then King Tower is hitting it as well. But then he did it right at that time. So it's going to be weird to see how he wants to approach this game. I love what Schwarzen is doing, like completely resetting and then putting that in the back. That way, like a mini P.E.K.K.A. isn't going to be able to, swing on everything because it's just going to be able to be taken out by the E-Giant the defensive E-Giant.
Yeah, that's probably one of the more interesting mechanics. That's the one thing I will say about the cards that have been introduced in this sort of like phase 3 of the game, is that they've really gone for interesting mechanics overall, right? And the Electro Giant, love him or hate him, he does something different that nobody else does.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So brutal once he just locks onto that tower. Even with the King Tower hitting it still gets it all the way down to 206. They're just a little bit of clean defense coming out from Schwarzen, and that's going to be game over. Good stuff from him.
Wow. Absolute wow here. Royal Giant can't get on tower because of the DPS on the board. And now you're going to see a lot still riding. And here you go, Beniju setting up on the left-hand lane, trying to do anything he can, but he has no building to pull. He has and he's trying to predict the lightning block here. Not going to get it. Schwarzen takes this one. And I need to see what the standings are here, but it's got to be pretty tight right now.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Beniju is officially out at this point.
That puts him at 3-4, and I believe that's Schwarzen's 4th win.
And I'm pretty sure there's a couple other people. I think he might be out.
I think that might be the end here. So now it's about placement after that with this last matchup. Let's see. Graham saying, why you say it snows in Spain, it's so hot there. Because the news said there's a blizzard there?
Everybody said there was a blizzard there.
All the news, unless they're faking blizzards somehow.
I've heard about that before. So
faked blizzards, yeah.
Yeah.
I know how you feel. I feel that.
About like Christmas magic and
yeah. So guys, who's the Christmas magic right there? My co-caster, Joshua. Aw crap, Sharon, the longtime Clash Royale pro and great streamer. He's on Twitch all the time. Here's a question for you, because your end of season ladder streams, the ladder viewing parties, are really having a popular part and some of the one of the big events at the end of each season. Mm-hmm. Are you excited about what the new CRL does to that end of seation?
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of interesting, and like it's gonna be weird because it's gonna kind of force me to play the end of season, which is gonna be interesting. But like, especially on the months where I'm not pushing ladder and I just get to watch, I'm thinking about doing just 24-hour streams on the final days.
Whoa.
Like it is really gonna be a lot of fun for me to just sit back, watch the pros, watch the best players in the world going for the highest placements possible in order to give themselves the best chance at getting that 1.6 million prize pool.
Here we go. Final match of the day. Schwarzen versus Mateja. A little Nimbus commenting. Alex Jones is going to talk about the fake blizzards in about 2 minutes. Fake blizzards being used by the news media in Spain to cover up for the problems they're having with production. Psychic vampires. Yeah. Yeah, Alex Jones will bring the dumb. That's for sure. Giant skeleton to the left-hand side with the Roombas in support.
I think that's what I'm going to say from now on. I never saw that until you said that, and then now that's all I can think of.
The Roombas?
I always think of the Cinnabon.
Oh, Cinnabon's a good one, too. Just there was one yesterday where there was I think it was yesterday where there was a Zappy that like kept on not being able to target and it was kind of spinning in place, and it looked like when a Roomba gets all confused.
Yeah.
And then wall. Yeah, there you go. Boom.
I saw this one picture where it was like I don't know if it was a Roomba or whatever it was, but it was it said like it's on the edge of a cliff, and it was just like on the carpet or something like that, and it's just they're so funny.
Yeah, they're pretty great. Baby boy Slaton I don't think he is anymore, but he was afraid of Roombas for a while.
Really?
Yeah, he would like he knew what would happen. He would go and press the on button, and it would turn on. Then he would run away and start crying because he was scared of the Roomba. And then he would go do it again, over and over again. Real weird. But
yeah,
that's a toddler for you.
Children are funny. I used to have this like big wheel, and I would just ram against the wall in the house, and I would just do it over and over again for no apparent reason.
Sure. I mean, look, the reason is it was fun.
Yeah, I guess so.
And here we go. Graveyard into the right-hand side. Cannon cart deep in enemy territory and does not connect. And does tank, but not for that much value. And let's see. It does look like, yes, the results are official. This is just a placement match. I don't know if a win for Schwarzen? Someone's saying I've been saying Schwarzen weird. I don't know. Schwarzen. Like that. I don't know how I should. Maybe I need to listen to Big Spin streams and figure out how you all say it. But Schwarzen. That's what I'm seeing.
It's got you all discombobulated.
Yeah, completely turned around. Mateja loses, then Schwarzen.
Because that's funny, because you also mispronounced Mateja according to the chat as well.
Yeah.
You're not doing a great job.
Yeah, well, this is a more casual stream. Not everyone gets the Havikatorse treatment, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that.
Don't worry, I'll get all these names pronounced properly for CRL. But looks like here's what's going to be interesting is if the German does beat the Serbian in this best of three, we'll have 3 players tied at 5 and 2. They will all be qualifying, but what rank they are qualifying will change.
So is the differential the next thing that comes into play?
Don't ask me. Don't ask me. At this point, I don't even know anymore. I think actually they throw them all into a pit and throw down one sharpened stick and see who survives. That's the best theory I have at this point.
Okay, that's probably the best
thing
to do at this point.
Here we go. Fireball to the interesting choice there.
Oh, interesting. I wonder why he went with the fireball instead of the earthquake. It's finally going to be able to lock on tower. That might have been the first lock on tower that we've seen all game.
Yeah,
sure it's not, but I don't know.
25 seconds left in this matchup. Fireball cycle now coming in, and that's why we're seeing the fireballs on tower rather than at the bridge, is specifically because of that. Cannon cart and mortar both trying to hold this Royal Giant up high, 994 to 1072. Final 10 seconds left. And Mateja looks like he probably will take this one unless this Royal Giant somehow gets on tower, which I can't imagine. Fireball does get in.
Oh, Schwarzen didn't cycle Fireball at the end. I don't know if he didn't have it in cycle or what the case was, but he gets a bunch of skellies to hit, and he gets that win. I can't believe he didn't go in with a Fireball, though.
Yeah, interesting. And there we go. So we're 1 win away from the German tying things up and having 3 players at 5 and 2. Which would be, that would be, I guess, because Chief Keef dropped out and so everyone got a free win there. That would be part of why we'd have so many players up that high. And then the 2 and 5 from Dark as well. And looking at the standings as they currently are, here you go. I'll throw them up there for you. So you can see what's actually happening. Well, not for you, but for chat.
Yeah, that means Dark and Azilys both went 1 and 5, basically.
Yeah, I you know what? I don't know if either of them actually played Chief Keef though.
Okay, I think Azilys did.
Yeah, I think you're right with that one. I think Azilys did.
Wow.
Yeah. wow is a word I would use here. Guys, if you haven't subbed yet, sub to my channel. It's an order. I demand good subscribing from each and every one of you. Schwarzen is pronounced like a round if you were to say ah. What? What?
Around A?
I don't even know how to understand what that is. But here we are going into our potentially final game of the day. What if a person who qualified for CRL 2020 was less than 14 years old? Well, since the age of 16 years old, that would be very much they can't play. So there you go. Hold on.
I always get asked in my streams, like, why can't I do this? And I never know what to say. Because I don't make up the rules.
Yeah. No, I know the feeling. I get a lot of people asking me different things that I don't have any power over. No one asks me the things that I do have power over, but they always ask me for things that I don't have power over. And no, I won't tell you what I do have power over, guys. Figure that out for yourself. Maybe you'll get lucky. Here we go. Mateja running this weird. We saw him run this same sort of weird rando bridge spam deck earlier today.
Yeah, and he won with it in kind of a odd fashion. I want to say he was going against this deck as well, against the Azilys. And he was able to win because of like a bandit connection or something.
That's right.
So let's see if Schwarzen is gonna have the same result or if he's gonna be able to flip that.
And there should be a point on his side, so not sure. But again, we just have to accept the technical challenges as they are. Schwarzen, is that what it is?
That sounds good.
Schwarzen. Is that it? Varen, I already answered your question, and the answer is nope. That's the whole answer. That's the answer. Royal Ghost at the bridge. E-bar's behind.
Oh, I love this pressure from Mateja. Okay, he's figured out this matchup, apparently.
Yeah, that was a lot of brutal pressure right at the bridge. Well contained, despite giving up a ton of damage here. But that's going to get cleaned up nicely. Well. Man.
Good stuff
yeah.
So far.
This is pretty. In Portugal, we have Jebus, Josinho, Derp, XF. Yeah, there's a lot of good Portuguese players. I've said this a bunch, but in the 2020 edition of the No Tilt Worlds, my two sleeper picks were Portugal and Romania. And lo and behold, they both performed very well.
Oh, man.
Oh, U-Barb's to the left.
That is brutal that is a legit strat.
E-Barb's Royal Ghost?
Yep. Cannon cart, bar barrel, and win.
Yeah, this is great. That's nutty. That's nutty. That's nutty. I mean, that's what you get when you pay. You play an 8 elixir card. That's the thing that can punish you sometimes.
Yep.
Schwarzen. Is that how it's supposed to be pronounced? Am I getting closer? Am I getting closer, guys? Am I almost there? Yeah, I know. Why is it 0-0? Result? I don't know why it's 0-0. I don't know what's going on. Fisherman was banned in the last game. I don't know what the ban's going to be for the next game. But again, there are some technical challenges in the production studio right now. So Mateja banned Fisherman, and Schwarzen is banning Cannon Cart. Schwarzen?
Okay, I think you're getting closer because I was looking it up, and Dirk Nowitzki is from Germany.
Yeah. And
so you say the V right there, and so it makes sense that it's like Schwarzen or something like that.
Got it.
Couldn't remember if he was from Germany or like Netherlands or something.
Schwarzen. Dude, you know what? I've answered that question 3 times already. So I'm just gonna actually type. I've answered that already. I'm gonna type that at you now. So now I'm adding you that I've answered that question already.
I'm pretty sure that's not gonna matter. And he will ask again.
There's a leak over my shoulder. Ah, water. All right. Yeah, the room's starting to fill up with the waterfall from the giant river. Let's see. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on E-Barbs? Ask Ana Luisa.
I love it. I wish they were never nerfed. The 2-3 years ago it came out. It was like my favorite card of all time. Because it really separated the people who actually understood how the game was played and the people who just like played reactively and didn't really think when they were playing. And I think it's in a healthy spot where it kind of still shows that even in today's game. So I really like him. I think it's a really good card.
Nice. I think that's a great evaluation of it, and I support you in all things.
Nice.
And let's go back into the gameplay, guys. And just for those of you in the chat who are German fans, who I thought Big Spin was casting this in German, so wonder why you're here. But thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. And I think that by correctly pronouncing the German's name, I don't want to like ruin it now. Schwarzen, right? Getting pretty close to it. I think I've earned all of your subs now. So if you're German in here and you heard me pronounce his name correctly one time, you owe me a sub now. That's actually how it works. And is it?
So,
wow.
Are you gonna have the confidence to pronounce it like that in CRL?
Heck no. It's gonna be Schwarzen on CRL broadcasts. No, like, because that one's just too. That one's too much, right? If you know what I mean. If you understand what I mean. Like, Javier Catorce, like, that one is kind of like, that one was just sounded too cool. Mm-hmm. And Lince doesn't sound like, Lince, like, it's not like that big of a Lince. It's like not that big of a deal. But if just, I don't think I have it in me to fully commit to it on the CRL broadcast.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Austin V with the Austin, Texas pro tip, get ramen at Tatsuya and have picnic at Zilker Park. Zilker Park's pretty dope. Never been to Tatsuya, but I'm trying to convince my co-caster here to move to Austin. And if so, first ramen's on me, dude. How about that? That's another incentive.
Oh, that's almost good enough right there. Because, man, Japan.
Yeah, right?
All those nights of ramen. Whew.
You cannot visit Tokyo and not leave a ramen addict. It's impossible.
It's impossible. I still can't believe that Nick spent, I can't remember, it was egregious though. He just spent like $40 or something just on 3 things of ramen just because he loved it so much.
That's like $12 a ramen, right? Or $13 a ramen?
Yeah.
13, 20. You know what? Honestly, that's not that bad of a price for a bowl of ramen for like the high quality stuff. It's an indulgence, yes. But it's not. What was the word? Egregious was the word you used?
Yeah.
It's not egregious. It's just indulgent.
Yeah. And then I think he bought it again, so he didn't think it was egregious whatsoever. He was totally fine with spending that money.
Agridelicious is what it was. So what's this deck out of Schwarzen here? This Goblin Giant Night Witch Miner deck?
Yeah, I used to see those decks every once in a while in CRL. I'm sure he's practiced that deck, and he's prepared to play against this kind of matchup. But I certainly don't get it.
Yeah, well, so far, oh boy, this could be interesting on the right-hand side. Oh, and the bomb tower takes the skeletons off for the lumberjack. Will this raged up balloon connect? I think it does. Boom! On the right-hand side, 15:36 with a minute 45 left in sudden death overtime in the final game of the day.
Yeah, that's you never want to have your skellies just killed immediately by a defensive bomb tower. That just doesn't happen very often. So it's kind of cool for us as the viewers, not so cool for him.
And Lumberjack working on that Goblin Giant on the right-hand side. Ice Wiz to support, and then to support on the left-hand lane. But Lumberjack now going to be in a nice spot here for a balloon to come right behind. We'll see if he does go that direction. No, loads up opposite side right now. Does Mateja with the skeleton, with the giant skeleton. Miner forced to pull, and what a NATO. Does that giant skeleton have a chance to escape here and get on tower? Mateja trying to go in with a bunch of fancy moves here.
Yeah, and I don't like these Goblin Giants. It always forces out the Fireball in response right here, and then, He doesn't have anything to make sure that the Goblin Giant can actually get damage. And then he just resets with another Lumberloon, either opposite lane or same lane, and he's just not getting any damage whatsoever.
Hunter placed just on the opposite side of the river, making the Lumberjack take a long route around. Balloon coming in, final 30 seconds here. Balloon not going to get there, but death damage in. Baby Dragon gets a belch, though, and that's a huge one. 5:39 remains. Mateja with a good chance here to get the win and secure that. I don't know who won between Michi and Mateja earlier on, because that he actually might be able to take the #1 spot away from Michifu.
You know, I don't know.
I don't know either. That's why I was asking you. I'll do that in the full-on announcer voice. I have no idea, and there you have it. Mateja winning, and he did beat Michifu. So Mateja takes #1 in the group on the last match of the day.
Unlucky.
Oh, that's a crazy one at the end. Let's see. To the Germans, thank you very much for your support. Oh man, Michael Angelo is going deep cuts here, and that's one of my favorite old bits. I'm glad you found that one. Korean barbecue is some of the best food in the world. Yeah, some bulgogi, bro. I'll crush some bulgogi. Get up in here with that. And that I think that's got to be incorrect. Mateja is #1 because Mateja has the head-to-head. So I'm gonna go ahead and let League Ops know, because I'm pretty sure that Mateja, 2-1 Michifu.
And Beniju played Schwarzen and lost to him in like one of the later games, correct?
I think so, but Schwarzen is 4-3, Benny's 3-4, so that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but like Schwarzen was 3-1. All he needs to do is just win one of those games, and then he won it against Beniju. If Beniju had been able to get that, he would have been able to overtake Schwarzen.
That would have been big time. But he didn't. He didn't get it, and so there you have it. No real controversy here, other than I believe Mateja is supposed to be above Michi, so they'll go ahead and try to get that sorted out on their own. But there you have your 4 qualifiers from Group B: Michifu, Mateja, Legolas, and Schwarzen are all going to be moving on to the next round, and I will keep on practicing my pronunciation, guys. Maybe I'll get confident enough to say that during a CRL broadcast, but honestly, I don't know. I cannot promise the German community. I'm going to do my best off it here on Bren Chong, but for CRL, man, that's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of bravery on my part to try to do that one. Dude, this has been a whole lot of fun. It's always fun when you come on and hang out and cast. Anything that the people who are watching should keep an eye out that you've got going on. Oh, here they go. Now they've updated the standings to the proper ones. You just want people to come and find you on Twitter and Twitch, or where should people go and catch up with you?
Yeah, I mean, Twitter, that's the most important one. Actually, Twitch, both most important. Currently, I am on day 15 of my streaming every day in January, and you know, I might even bump that up to 2 months in a row. I've just been having a lot of fun streaming, talking to people. It's been really enjoyable for me, and yeah, just hope you guys had fun with me being on the channel.
As always, there's his Twitch link and his Twitter link there in chat, guys. So I hope you enjoyed it very much. For my buddy AC. And for everyone here at the Bren Chong Cup, thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, with Group C action, and of course with Group D. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, ring the bell. Don't miss any of this. There's more Bren Chong. We're nowhere near done. We've got so much more to go, and I want you to be there for the entirety of it. So thanks again, guys, and we will see you mañana with more Bren Chong right here on the most fun place for Clash Royale esports.
Adios.
All right.
January 28 to 31, and will feature the 16 best classified from each continent. A single elimination bracket will determine the 3 representatives of each region. We will have a world final of the Bren Chong Cup for the first time, where it will be decided who is the best player on the planet. We will have live streamings in many languages: English, Chinese, Japanese, Portuguese, German. In short, that all of you will be able to follow the action. To follow all what happens in the competition, keep an eye on the Revel Aimar social networks and the Appgrade application. Thank Bren Chong for sponsoring this competition and making this event possible. Bren Chong Cup 2. Get ready for the show.